Chapter 1149. This woman, imperial concubine Zhou, no matter where she goes, will always be the focus of men. As Li Fan walked on the road, all kinds of envious, jealous, and hateful gazes fell on him. Even when he was eating, the waiter looked at him with strange eyes. Eating this Western food, Li Fan felt that he had gone to hell. All men were his enemies. A supreme beauty, bringing trouble to himself. But imperial concubine Zhou seemed to enjoy the gazes of those men around her. She sat there and ate her steak with a clear conscience. Li Fan felt like he was sitting on pins and needles. Do you want to eat in another restaurant? You are a strong martial artist. Are you afraid of being stared at by them? Imperial concubine Zhou elegantly cut her steak and said, in our eyes, they are like ants. Moreover, this kind of gaze is the evaluation of this concubine's charm. Why should I feel uneasy? If they love you, they will be hostile to me. Li Fan curled his lips. Is it easy to have a meal? As this concubine's man, this is your honor. Imperial concubine Zhou's elegant appearance was not like an imperial concubine of the Ming dynasty, but a European noble. With a woman like this concubine following you, shouldn't you be proud of it? Their jealousy is your medal of honor. What she said seemed to be quite right. It was indeed an honor for him to be able to sleep with such a woman. However, although Li Fan's mentality was a lot better, he still couldn't achieve the aloof feeling that imperial concubine Zhou had. This imperial concubine Zhou was like a fairy floating above the ninth heaven, overlooking all living beings. But Li Fan slept with this goddess. This was not something that ordinary people could do. Moreover, this goddess had a famous weapon. After eating Western food, Li Fan and imperial concubine Zhou walked out of the restaurant and directly went to the parking lot. Imperial concubine Zhou really knew how to enjoy herself. She bought a limousine and parked it there. The driver was an old man, who was waiting for them. The parking lot was very quiet. The night had quietly fallen, covering this sleepless city with a layer of mysterious veil. Li Fan, how about this concubine teach you the real 9 Buddha Sutra? In the parking lot, imperial concubine Zhou suddenly asked. Li Fan was a little surprised. You want me to learn the 9 Buddha Sutra? That's a treasure book for swindling people. How is it a scam? How many people in the world of martial artists have stirred up a storm of blood because of this book? Imperial concubine Zhou angrily glared at Li Fan. After cultivating it, you can become immortal like me. Isn't that good? How is it good? Li Fan laughed. If you haven't, what's the point of living until now? Imperial concubine Zhou lightly snorted. You're such a killjoy. Since you don't even want me, you can go and do odd jobs for me. Imperial concubine Zhou pointed to the back of the truck next to her. There are some broken things there. You go and take care of them. Scum. Your Highness. Li Fan pretended to bow to imperial concubine Zhou and then walked towards the truck. Friends, come out and have a chat. Li Fan shouted at the top of his lungs, it's such a cold day. If you hide behind the truck, you'll catch a cold. What the fuck? How did you find me? A fat man came out from the back of the truck. This fat man weighed more than 200 pounds. He was wearing a heavy down jacket and holding an axe in his hand. You idiot. I told you to lose weight, but you didn't listen. A thin man came out from the side. He was wearing less clothes and was shivering in the cold. He shouted at the fat man, it must be because you're too fat that someone saw you. You too. Finish talking. Li Fan was a bit speechless. What are these two clowns doing here? Let me tell you, we are famous killers in the north. These two people spoke in the northeast dialect that Li Fan was familiar with. The thin man's voice was still trembling. He looked at Li Fan and proudly said, we brothers have killed our way through the north and south of the Yangtze River. There is no mission that we can't complete. Now, a rich man said that he wants to buy your life. Be obedient and let us kill you. Be obedient. As he spoke, the thin man checked the single-shot pistol in his hand. See this? This thing is called Hualong made. It can only fire one shot. But one bullet is enough to take your life. Big brother, can you let me fire one shot? The fat man rubbed his hands and said excitedly, I have never fired a gun before. Let me try. Idiot, this is different from shooting birds, you know. That's why I want to try. Let me fire one shot. Fuck, fine. Anyway, this kid can't run away. You just shoot his stomach. One shot and he's dead. Don't we have to shoot his head to kill him? Fuck your father. You big idiot. Do you think your marksmanship is very accurate? Hurry up, don't waste time. The two clowns muttered for a long time. Li Fan was very helpless. He stuck his hands in his pocket and watched the show. Which idiot found these two crosstalk comedians? Come, come, come. Let's have some fun. The fat man was very excited. He raised his pistol and aimed at Li Fan. But Li Fan was indifferent. He still stood there as if nothing happened. Brother, look. He's not afraid. The fat man was puzzled. Before he fired, he turned his head and asked his thin companion, does he think that our gun is fake? Why do you care so much? The thin man was a bit annoyed. Quickly kill him and take the money for the new year. Damn, we must let him know our power. The fat man seemed to be a bit angry. Let me tell you, this is a real gun. With that, the fat man aimed the pistol at the sky and fired a shot. The sound of the gunshot was deafening. Those who didn't know would think that it was a firecracker. Did you hear that, big idiot? The fat man proudly shouted at Li Fan. Fuck. The thin man gave the fat man a slap. You're the idiot. Didn't I tell you that you can only fire one shot? Looking at the gun made by Hualong, the muzzle was broken. One look and he knew it was an inferior product from a private workshop. I'm also drunk. How did I know such a big idiot like you? The thin man had no other choice. He pulled out his military knife and aimed at Li Fan. Kid, you can die a quick death. Blame this idiot for not giving you a quick death. With that, the thin man took a step forward. The military knife was aimed at Li Fan's lower abdomen. Li Fan stretched out his hand and grabbed the thin man's wrist. He pulled him forward and at the same time, his right hand slashed out and hit the thin man's throat. The thin man directly covered his neck and kneeled on the ground, gasping for breath. The fat man was shocked. Fuck, this brother is trained. He began to rummage through his bag, looking for something to deal with Li Fan. Don't, the thin man was panting and wanted to say something. Yes, you kid, don't run. This father is looking for something to kill you. The fat man shouted. Don't fucking flip over. Run, the thin man rolled his eyes. The fat man turned around and ran. Fuck, bring me along. Chapter 1150. Li Fan didn't know where these two weirdos came from, but he didn't kill them and just watched them run away. Why didn't you kill them? Imperial concubine Zhou walked in front of Li Fan and asked. With a wave of my hand, aren't they dead? That's fun, why kill them? Li Fan grinned. Besides, I really want to know which idiot hired these two to kill me. This kind of joker, Li Fan was convinced. It's probably someone who doesn't know you. Imperial concubine Zhou said from the side. In short, next time you meet this kind of person, just kill them first to avoid future troubles. Yes. Your Highness is wise. The two of them have different worldviews. Li Fan can't use his worldview to force Imperial concubine Zhou. Therefore, he quickly said a few words to make this Imperial concubine happy first. If she was unhappy, she would definitely make him unhappy. Knowing modesty was the traditional virtue of the Chinese nation. Li Fan nodded and once again confirmed his magnanimity. He and Imperial concubine Zhou went all the way back to the martial arts school. In the limousine, Imperial concubine Zhou didn't forget to add another round of after-meal exercise. At this time, the two assassin brothers were squatting on the side of the road. The thin man was holding a phone and calling someone. Boss Wang. This matter didn't work. But don't worry, we two brothers are the assassins in the 3 provinces of the Northeast. Don't worry, I will definitely do it for you. Today. Why didn't you do it today? Hearing this, the fat man interrupted. Tell him that the gun is not good. Not good? Fuck you, fuck you. The thin man held the phone with one hand and used the other to slap the fat man's head. After slapping a few times, he finally vented his anger. Then, he picked up the phone again and said in a pleasant tone. Today's opportunity is not good. There are a lot of people accompanying Li Fan. Now, the business of killing people is not good. In a society ruled by law, I can't get a sniper. Otherwise, with my marksmanship, I can guarantee that his head will burst from 100 meters away. In this aspect, I haven't met my match yet. Nonsense. Compared to the 100m shooting, my result is clearly better. The fat man was not convinced. The skinny man covered the phone angrily and gave him a few more slaps. After beating the fat man up, the thin man continued, anyway, Boss Wang, don't worry. I promise I'll take care of this matter for you. You can rest assured. What? I won't let you call next time. You can just tell your subordinates when the matter is done. Alright, I know the rules. Don't worry, I won't bother Boss Wang anymore. Only then did the thin man hang up the phone and then looked at the fat man with a smile. I say, dog's leftovers, it's done this time. This Boss Wang is so generous that he transferred another 100,000 yuan to me. Let's get 2 good guns and shoot that brat Li Fan. Oh my god, so much money. Brother, I know. Let's buy a Type 95. I used this for target practice in the army. I'm used to it. 95, my ass, my ass. The skinny man slapped him a few more times. Are you fucking stupid? Type 95 is the army's gun. Where do you expect me to get one? It's good enough to get 2 Type 54 Black Stars. Then where are we going to buy it? Last time Hualong made it, it was you who cheated and won it. Haven't you heard of the saying, money makes the world go round? The skinny man rubbed his hands. His face was slightly red. We came out to do big things. If we don't make some money, where are we going to put our faces? Now, it's almost spring planting time, yeah. Fuck. The skinny man slapped the fat man again. What the fuck are you thinking about? Do you want to go back to farming? No. It's just a little cold. The fat man squatted in the snow, rubbing his hands and blowing into his palms. Look at you. Your dad praises you every day, saying that you're the martial star. The fat man rolled his eyes. Isn't my dad an old faker? He even said that you're the literati star. You didn't even get into high school. Cut the bullshit. Anyway, after this job, we'll have money. The skinny man took off his down jacket and covered the fat man. Brother, aren't you cold? Cold my ass, I have a lot of firepower. Brother, you're awesome. It's good that you know. Finish this job, then I'll bring you to have a good new year. I'll find dozens of girls to warm you up. The two squatted in the snow and laughed wretchedly. On the other side, a gentleman with gold-rimmed glasses hung up the phone and looked at another man in front of him. This man looked to be in his 60s or 70s. He had white hair and a youthful face. His eyes were bright and full of expression. Master, I've already told them. Jiang, are these 2 reliable people you found? The old man touched his beard and looked at his eldest disciple suspiciously. Don't worry, master. These 2 are known as the most famous assassins in the Northeast. With the 2 of them, it'll be a piece of cake. Even if something happens, they'll contact me through a temporary account. No one will be able to find us. Well, don't complicate the issue. The old man sighed, I'm old and can't fight anymore, so I can only use this method. It's really a disgrace to the martial arts practitioners. Master, don't say that. You're the president of the Martial Arts Association. How can we trouble you with this kind of small character? We, your disciples and grand disciples, will help you with this. I know you're filial. The old man lit a pipe and held it in his hand. In today's society, if there's a little thing, it will immediately become a big deal. This bow, that circle, it's not responsible at all. A few stars said that our martial arts association is bullying the new martial arts club. It's really absurd. They don't understand how difficult this industry is and how strict the rules are. Master, don't worry. After this is done, it has nothing to do with our martial arts association. The eldest disciple surnamed Jiang smiled, Master, don't worry. At the same time, the limousine arrived at the entrance of the martial arts club. Imperial concubine Zhou tidied up her hair and walked down. Li Fan followed her down. He was obviously a man, but his face was a little red. He really didn't expect that the noble imperial concubine Zhou would be so wild on the bed. The two people's dual cultivation was really effective. In just a moment, Li Fan felt that his vitality had increased a little. At night, the martial arts club was closed. The lights inside were turned off and it was quiet. The two directly opened the door and took the elevator to the basement. This basement was a private training ground. Only a few people knew about it. Even the cleaning was done by Lu Xiaohu and Jiang Yi. The area of the training ground was more than 300 square meters. It was very spacious and surrounded by green potted plants. It was very suitable for recuperation. After entering, Lu Xiaohu and Jiang Yi were already sitting cross-legged on both sides of the training ground, ready to go. Chapter 1151. Jiang Yi and Lu Xiaohu sat face to face. The two did not make a move, but waited for the arrival of their master. Dragon Girl did not follow Li Fan to Imperial concubine Zhou's place. She also sat in the underground training ground, lying on the ground and eating snacks. There was a small pad in front of her, swinging her legs, looking very happy. This girl really knew how to enjoy herself. Yo, you're back. Seeing Li Fan and Imperial concubine Zhou coming out of the elevator, Dragon Girl greeted, You've been here for so long, did you enjoy it? Get lost, don't talk nonsense. In front of his two disciples, Li Fan's old face was somewhat embarrassed. I and Imperial concubine Zhou were just comparing some martial arts, and we also had a meal, so we were delayed for some time. You two have a plump complexion and a spring glow in your eyes. Obviously, you have just had intercourse. Do you think I can't see it? Dragon Girl put on an experienced appearance, making Li Fan speechless. This Dragon Girl is a professional for 50 years. Li Fan was also helpless, he really could not win against this girl, she was reasonable. Indeed, we just had a double cultivation. Imperial concubine Zhou did not care and casually agreed. You little girl, your face is still childish. Although you're not young, you're still young, right? But after all, she was an imperial concubine and was used to being arrogant, how could she be bullied by Dragon Girl? How can you feel the word pleasure when you've never experienced it before? Imperial concubine Zhou's question immediately made Dragon Girl dumbfounded. What kind of person was this? His words were so reasonable that she was stumped by his questions. The women around Li Fan did not seem to be simple. Master. At this time, Jiang Yi and Lu Xiaohu also turned around and kowtowed to Li Fan. Dispense with the formalities. Li Fan pointed to Imperial concubine Zhou beside him, today's battle between the two of you, undead evil Buddha, Imperial concubine Zhou will be the witness. Thank you, Imperial concubine. The two bowed to Imperial concubine Zhou again. Remember, the battle between the two of you is sacred and inviolable. Even I, as your master, should not interfere. However, if the other party's life is in danger, I will definitely intervene. Got it? Li Fan had said everything in advance. Remember. The two disciples nodded, then took a few steps back and looked at each other. Junior sister, as your senior brother, I will not be lenient this time. Lu Xiaohu entered the state of the Black Tiger Emperor as soon as he came up. His aura was imposing, bringing with it a strong sense of oppression. However, Jiang Yi didn't say anything, but he wasn't inferior either. She stood there with her hands stretched out in front of her, like a poisonous snake, staring at Lu Xiaohu. Jiang Yi did not underestimate her senior brother. She also activated her Dragon King snake form. Tonight, Li Fan's two disciples would officially start a contest here. Li Fan was also relieved. With him and Imperial concubine Zhou watching the battle, there would be no danger to their lives. Secondly, this basement was specially built. After a whole month of construction, the original basement was strengthened several times with alloys. This basement could even be bombed by missiles. Let the battle begin. Imperial concubine Zhou said in a sweet voice. Her voice was not loud, but it clearly reached everyone's ears. The moment her voice left her mouth, the two of them jumped out at the same time. The two of them were like meteors, colliding in the air. Lu Xiaohu used Tiger Claw and Jiang Yi used Snake Fist. The two of them exchanged blows in the air and separated. The powerful true qi spread out and impacted the surroundings. There was a thin layer of floating dust on the floor, which was directly blown up. Tiger Cannon. Lu Xiaohu took 2 steps back. His left hand dragged his right wrist and rushed toward his junior sister. A ball of true qi shot out from his palm and quickly flew toward her. Dragon Shattering Hand. Jiang Yi instantly saw the weakness of this move. Instead of retreating, she moved forward and pierced through Lu Xiaohu's true qi shot. Puff! The true qi shot broke, raising a little smoke in the air. It did not produce the expected attack effect. But Jiang Yi took the opportunity to move forward. Her body was like a snake, almost sticking to the ground. She moved left and right a few times and instantly appeared in front of Lu Xiaohu. Jiang Ye's 5 fingers were like the fangs of a poisonous snake. In the next second, they were in front of Lu Xiaohu's throat. Lu Xiaohu used 3 fingers of his left hand to buckle Jiang Ye's arm, locking her attack. At the same time, his right elbow knocked forward, hitting Jiang Ye's chest. A black tiger fiercely climbs the mountain, 3 consecutive hits, causing Jiang Yi to be stunned. Finally, Lu Xiaohu's palm clasped Jiang Ye's forehead and pressed it to the ground. But Jiang Ye's legs directly wrapped around Lu Xiaohu's arm, causing Lu Xiaohu's last attack to fail. Break! Jiang Ye's body turned, twisting Lu Xiaohu's arm. This move could be said to be extremely dangerous. Even Li Fan slightly frowned when he saw this. Martial arts came from the heart. Jiang Ye's moves were very ruthless, and Lu Xiaohu liked to hold back. If they fought like this, Lu Xiaohu's strength was a little weaker, so he would obviously suffer a big loss. Would he not be able to keep his arm? Li Fan wanted to move, but Imperial concubine Zhou pressed down on his shoulder. The moment Lu Xiaohu's arm was twisted, he suddenly let out a roar. Roar! The dust on the ground floated up again, and Jiang Ye's body slightly trembled, his movements slow by a second. Fierce Tiger Roar. Lu Xiaohu used this move to intimidate his junior sister. He took the opportunity to withdraw his right hand, then took 2 steps back, readjusted his rhythm, and assumed the posture of a fierce tiger descending the mountain. Half of Jiang Ye's body was on the ground, and his hands were stretched forward, waiting to give Lu Xiaohu a fatal attack. Li Fan was sweating as he watched. These 2 people were really too dangerous. Especially Jiang Yi, who was really like a poisonous snake. Every time he attacked, he would take a life, without mercy. Lu Xiaohu also seemed to feel the danger of Jiang Yi, but he took 2 steps forward, and at the same time, both his hands clenched into claws, stretched them out, and placed them in front of his body, making the gesture of a fierce tiger roaring. Behind him, true energy quickly condensed, and a fierce tiger faintly appeared, making a roaring appearance. From the tiger's mouth, a true energy bullet was spat out, rushing toward Jiang Yi. Jiang Yi was shocked and slid back, and the true energy bullet fell to the ground, breaking the floor. Martial God True Body. Li Fan was a little surprised. Although it was only a silhouette, it already had the form. Regarding the cultivation method of the martial God True Body, Li Fan had taught them before. However, this was a matter of talent, and not everyone could comprehend it. Unexpectedly, Lu Xiaohu actually comprehended a little bit, and in this battle, he even displayed the power of the martial God True Body. How is it, do you know how powerful senior brother is? Lu Xiaohu looked quite proud. You call this the martial God True Body? Jiang Yi sneered coldly, illusory, like a fart. Chapter 1152. It was like a fart. This scolding made Lu Xiaohu blush a little. I'm still a prototype. Lu Xiaohu's cheeks were flushed as he shouted, you're just envious. Is that so? Jiang Yi sneered, and then her body emitted a blue true energy. This blue true energy also had a little black light, as if it was hiding a murderous aura. Your little disciple is not bad. Imperial concubine Zhou seemed to admire Jiang Yi. Can you give her to this imperial concubine and let this imperial concubine teach her? Forget it. Li Fan was shocked. If imperial concubine Zhou taught her, wouldn't it be terrible? One imperial concubine Zhou was enough. Li Fan didn't want his disciple to become the second imperial concubine Zhou. That's a pity. She was originally a piece of unpolished jade. Imperial concubine Zhou looked very regretful. Everyone has the heart to cherish talents. At this time, Jiang Ye's true energy condensed into the shape of a poisonous snake behind her. It was actually the martial god True Body. Both of them learned Xingyi martial arts, so their true bodies were also shaped like animals. This was the most basic martial god True Body, but the two of them were young and had already comprehended it. It was really rare. Lu Xiaohu was dumbfounded. He didn't expect that his junior sister would also comprehend this technique. Martial God True Body, this was the highest realm that a martial artist could cultivate. First, it was the most basic martial God True Body. Just like the two of them, it was only a silhouette, and the posture was relatively primitive. One step further, it should be like his master's flying lion goddess or imperial concubine Zhou's demon fox, which was similar to a human's posture. One more level, it would be the second stage of martial god True Body that his master had displayed. He didn't even dare to think about it now. He also thought for a long time before comprehending this technique, but his junior sister actually comprehended it. But this is also good, it's fair and interesting. Lu Xiaohu pushed his tiger fist, and the fierce tiger behind him suddenly opened its bloody mouth and pounced toward Jiang Yi. Jiang Yi didn't panic. The poisonous snake behind her rushed forward and actually wrapped around the fierce tiger's body, locking its body, and then bit toward the tiger's neck. The fierce tiger turned its head, and at the moment the poisonous snake bit down, it spat out a true energy bullet. The venomous snake had crushed the tiger's head, and the vital chi bullet had crushed the snake's body. The two enormous martial god True Bodies slowly dissipated in the air. Jiang Yi calculated step by step and lured Lu Xiaohu into the trap little by little. However, Li Fan liked Lu Xiaohu's calmness in the face of danger. The two disciples each took a step back, their faces somewhat pale. After all, the martial god True Body had been destroyed, and it had somewhat affected their true chi. Tiger leap. Lu Xiaohu liked to attack. He suddenly leaped forward with an unstoppable momentum. In an instant, he crossed the distance of 5 or 6 meters and landed in front of Jiang Yi. Lu Xiaohu's tiger claw went straight for Jiang Yi's face. Jiang Yi used spirit snake coil and locked Lu Xiaohu's tiger claw with his left arm. However, Lu Xiaohu's other hand grabbed over from another direction. Jiang Yi seemed to be prepared for this. He used spirit snake entanglement again and sealed Lu Xiaohu's other hand. Jiang Ye's palm was aimed at Lu Xiaohu's throat, and his next move was to strangle him. However, Lu Xiaohu let out a fierce tiger roar, once again intimidating Jiang Yi. Then, he followed up with a fierce tiger tail whip and kicked Jiang Yi. Jiang Yi, who should have been intimidated, laughed instead. She actually moved freely. At the same time, she raised her right leg and used spirit snake coil to lock Lu Xiaohu's calf again. She caught Lu Xiaohu's body and leaped into the air. Her left leg aimed at Lu Xiaohu's heart and kicked fiercely. Bang! Thump thump thump. Lu Xiaohu slid 3 meters away and took 3 steps back before he could stabilize his body. Impossible, Lu Xiaohu was a little surprised. He covered his chest and looked at his junior sister. Why didn't you eat fierce tiger roar? Senior brother, I've already used the move twice and it's no longer effective. Jiang Yi pointed to her ears. I had already predicted that you would use this move, so I temporarily sealed my ears with true qi. Jiang Yi continued to lay traps for Lu Xiaohu, feeling like a tiger entering a snake's den. Since that's the case, let's fight fair and square. Lu Xiaohu said as he jumped over and continuously attacked Jiang Yi with his claws. His attacks were exceptionally ferocious. His continuous attacks actually forced River Yi to continuously retreat. In terms of frontal attacks, Master's Tiger Strike is the strongest. Lu Xiaohu gave up all thoughts and let himself fight according to his instincts. This made his punches more ferocious and made his steps more stable. Even Jiang Yi seemed to be a little surprised. She probably didn't expect that her senior brother had such potential. Lu Xiaohu's series of attacks forced Jiang Yi to mess up her steps. She was unsteady and looked like she was about to fall. Good chance. Lu Xiaohu was overjoyed. He waved his hands in front of him and the true qi in his body instantly went berserk. Hungry tiger out of the cage. At that moment, Lu Xiaohu was ready to launch an even more powerful series of attacks to take down his junior sister. But at this moment, his body suddenly stiffened. The hungry tiger out of the cage was actually not used. Jiang Yi, on the other hand, stabilized her body with a sneer on her face. You're still too inexperienced. You. What did you do? Lu Xiaohu gritted his teeth, but his body didn't listen to him. Every move just now, I hit the acupuncture points on your body. Although I didn't learn the crane strike, if I hit more acupuncture points, the effect will be there. Now, I have temporarily sealed the acupuncture points on your body. So, senior brother, from the beginning, you fell into my trap. As Jiang Yi spoke, she moved forward and used the dragon-shattering hand, aiming straight at Lu Xiaohu's shoulder. This time, she showed mercy because she felt that she would win. According to her master's instructions, it would be enough to punish her senior brother. However, a glimmer of light flashed in Lu Xiaohu's eyes. At that moment, Jiang Yi felt that the strength in her body was suddenly sucked away. She slashed her palm on Lu Xiaohu's shoulder, but it didn't cause any damage. Instead, her body was sent flying by the true qi. Jiang Yi was shocked. Did she miscalculate? Junior sister, I'm sorry. In addition to martial arts, I also know some superpowers. Lu Xiaohu winked at Jiang Yi. My ability is to eliminate. In the past, I could eliminate other people's superpowers, but now I can temporarily eliminate other people's true qi. Although the time is short, it's quite effective, isn't it? So that's how it is. No wonder Master chose you. You're indeed a little special. The true qi in Jiang Ye's body had already recovered. She stood up again and suppressed the true qi with both hands, adjusting her body. In that case, I'll admit your strength. Are you going to respect senior brother from the bottom of your heart? Lu Xiaohu was a little happy. No, I'm going to use all my strength to defeat you. Chapter 1153. As Jiang Yi said that, she suddenly leaped into the air, jumping more than 3 meters high, and then flipped in the air. Serpent transforming into dragon. Jiang Ye's body flipped in the air, and her aura seemed to change. She directly struck a palm at Lu Xiaohu who was below. Dragon King Seal. Bang! Lu Xiaohu was pressured by the powerful palm wind, half kneeling on the ground, and a huge palm print appeared around him, left on the ground of this underground dojo. Li Fan was a little surprised. Serpent transforming into dragon strike? His little disciple actually broke through her own shackles and forcibly transformed the serpent strike into dragon strike? This is a bit too powerful. Jiang Yi instantly landed, her left hand holding a ball of true energy ball, and with a dragon spitting pearl, she prepared to blast her senior brother's body at close range. And at that moment, Lu Xiaohu's hand was placed on his chest. His body suddenly disappeared from this place, and Jiang Ye's palm hit the ground, and the dragon's spitting pearl continuously tore the floor apart. Jiang Ye's eyes flashed with shock, and the next second, Lu Xiaohu appeared beside her, and at the same time, a flying knee strike hit her body. Bang! Jiang Yi flew out, her body spun in the air, and finally smashed into the wall behind her. This alloy wall was smashed into a crooked shape. And Lu Xiaohu, like a shadow, appeared in front of her, and his fingers stopped in front of her throat. Junior sister, you lost. Jiang Yi stuck to the wall, like a hanging painting, and slowly slid down. She looked at her senior brother in front of her, and there seemed to be some unwillingness in her eyes. How did you do it? Jiang Yi endured the internal injury and asked. With my ability. Lu Xiaohu explained, my ability can temporarily eliminate objects or energy. I had wondered if I could temporarily erase myself. I tried it one day, and it really worked. Are you an idiot? Jiang Yi almost died from anger. Aren't you afraid of killing yourself? How could that be? I've experimented with frogs, and they're still alive and well. Lu Xiaohu hurriedly emphasized that his IQ is not low. I've done many clinical trials, there's no problem. Idiot. I actually lost to an idiot. Hey, who are you calling an idiot? Jiang Yi seemed to be very sad. Li Fan walked up to her, took out a spring-returning pill, stuffed it into her mouth, and used his innate qi to help her dissolve the medicinal effects. Jiang Yi, you're very strong, and you've surprised me, really. Li Fan patted Jiang Ye's head. You're just too competitive and scheming. There are many unexpected factors in a martial arts competition, you know? I understand, Master. Jiang Yi seemed to have understood something. What Master means is that I should take a few more steps into consideration and include all unexpected factors. That's right. Thank you for your guidance, Master. With that, Jiang Yi knelt down and kowtowed to his master a few times. Li Fan was rather helpless. This girl was really stubborn. In this aspect, she was very similar to her brother, Jiang Feng. In short, I won. Lu Xiaohu also ate a vitality-restoring pill and was recovering his true qi on the side. He waved his fist happily. I'm very happy that I've protected eldest senior brother's dignity. You too, you're too reckless. Li Fan glared at Lu Xiaohu. You actually made yourself disappear. What if it's like what your junior sister said and you can't come back? That won't happen, Master. I've tried it a few times. There's no problem. Lu Xiaohu touched the back of his head and said a little embarrassedly. This ability of mine is actually not called elimination, but transfer. Transfer? Yes. Lu Xiaohu nodded. I've tried it a few times. I always made myself appear in a strange space. In that space, there was a starry sky everywhere, as if it was a universe. I felt someone was there, but I couldn't find anyone. In short, it was very safe. Really? Li Fan was a little curious. Why don't you try it on me? No, Master, it's too dangerous. Jiang Yi hurriedly stopped him. What's so dangerous about it? I've tried it myself. Lu Xiaohu emphasized. You see, I'm back in one piece. I didn't even lose a piece of meat. Your skin is rough and your flesh is thick. How can you compare to Master? Jiang Yi glared. Okay, you guys stop arguing. Li Fan's curiosity was piqued. Come, Xiaohu, try it. Okay, Master. The effect is about half a minute, so you don't have to worry. Lu Xiaohu said as he looked at Li Fan. His eyes flashed. Li Fan's body immediately disappeared from the dojo. Jiang Yi was a little anxious. Idiot. If master doesn't come back, I'll kill you to accompany him. Don't jinx it. I'll be back in a while. In the end, after 30 seconds, Li Fan did not appear. Lu Xiaohu was dumbfounded. What's going on? And Li Fan was transferred to an illusory space. There was a starry sky everywhere. There was not a single figure, not even a single life. Hey, is there no one? Li Fan shouted loudly. His voice was filled with yuan qi, but no one responded even after a long distance. And at this moment, a huge planet entered Li Fan's sight. The sun rose from the other side of the planet, illuminating the landscape of the planet. The blue planet was full of vitality, and the sun swept away the darkness. Are you shocked? A voice sounded in Li Fan's ear. Li Fan was taken aback. He turned his head and found a man standing beside him. This man had a strange charm that attracted his gaze. This is life, different from the rest. You are. Li Fan heard from Lu Xiaohu that there was no life in this space. But now, why did a mysterious man appear? And he seemed to have a powerful force that he could not see through. You can call me Lu Aigua. The man stood beside Li Fan with his hands behind his back. I'm the great cosmos god here. Great cosmos god? What the hell? I occasionally saw an interesting friend appear, so I asked you to stay for a while. I don't quite understand what you're saying. You don't need to understand. After all, this isn't your world. Lu Aigua laughed. There are many worlds in this world. You and I are just a drop in the ocean. Many worlds? Yes. Lu Aigua nodded. In the unseen world, there seems to be a creator who created millions of worlds. And I, as the protector, protect all of them. It sounds quite amazing. Can I become a great cosmos god? No. Why? Li Fan was slightly unconvinced. You might be interesting, but you aren't someone I want to challenge. Alright, let's chat for a while to kill some loneliness. You can go back now. Lu Aigua waved his hand. Li Fan suddenly trembled, and his vision immediately turned black. When he opened his eyes again, he had already returned to his Dao dojo. Chapter 1154. Great Cosmos God. Hearing Li Fan's question, Dragon Girl, who was busy eating snacks, tilted her head and glanced at Li Fan. What the hell is that? I've never heard of it. Seems like you don't know either. It's really strange. Li Fan had asked Lu Xiaohu to send him to that space again, but it had not succeeded. Lu Xiaohu's ability seemed to have lost its effect on Li Fan. Did that world reject him? Although Li Fan was unwilling, he seemed to be helpless. Lu Aigua was too strong, as if they were in a different dimension. Li Fan always felt that he could cultivate stronger there, as if he could reach an unprecedented level. Unfortunately, all of this was just a fleeting cloud that disappeared in the blink of an eye, and the opportunity wasn't grasped in his hand. Now is not the time to talk about this. Dragon Girl stared at Li Fan. Today is New Year's Eve, aren't you going to buy more delicious food? Li Fan was speechless. The warehouse behind is full of your snacks, is it not enough for you? The more the better. Dragon Girl was a standard foodie. There's never enough delicious food. By the way, who's coming for New Year's? The twins and Shin Chen are busy with work outside. At night, Jiang Yi and Xiaohu will definitely be there, and Xiaowan will come too. Murong loves Xiaowan, and they will probably come back together at night. Lin Yuhsn went home for New Year's, and Xia Yi and the others will be in City A for New Year's. Li Fan calculated carefully. This year's New Year's would probably not be as lively as in previous years. The escort agency had the most people, and they were busy with the gold medal escorts. However, with the changes in the martial arts world, the gold medal escorts event could not be held anymore. Li Fan was the last gold-ranked escort. At this time, in the escort world, no one dared to compete with Li Fan for this title. If it weren't for Li Fan, the profession of being an armed escort would have completely disappeared. Li Fan was the only one who could stand up to the Imperial Guards. There won't be many people this year. It's okay, as long as you eat a lot. The Dragon Lady was fine with anything. I wonder what it's like to celebrate the new year in modern society. In the past, it was very interesting. We could even go to the temple fair. There's a lot of good food there. There are no more temple fairs during the new year. Everyone is busy going home for the new year. Li Fan stood in front of the window and looked out at the streets. Especially in this city, where it doesn't snow in winter, there's not much of a festive atmosphere. Then you have to prepare more delicious food. Dragoness licked her lips. She seemed to be a little hungry now. We eat dumplings during Chinese New Year. What fillings do you like? Li Fan prepared to cook personally. Do they still eat dumplings during Chinese New Year? The dragon girl was a little surprised. I thought this habit had changed. I didn't expect it to still be there. Some traditions are still upheld. Didn't you eat a pile of meat dumplings during the Dragon Boat Festival? Aya, how do you remember it so clearly? The dragoness was very thick-skinned and would not feel shy about these things. As for me, I'm a very simple person. As long as it's meat filling, it's fine. You're really simple. Li Fan was especially speechless. He tidied up and went to the dojo's kitchen. The equipment in the dojo's cafeteria was very advanced. Usually, there would be a chef cooking inside. After all, the dojo also had its own cafeteria window and was responsible for the disciples' meals. Master, why are you cooking personally? Seeing Li Fan put on an apron and walked into the kitchen, Jiang Yi hurriedly followed. Let me cook. The chef had already gone home for Chinese New Year. In such a large dojo, there were only Li Fan and a few others. It's okay. It's just cooking. There's no need to be so exaggerated. But, how can I let Master do this? Master is a man. You're a little girl, how can you be so chauvinistic? Li Fan couldn't help but laugh. Don't you think a man who can cook is also very charming? Ah! Jiang Yi was stunned. Then, she looked at Lu Xiaohu who was lying outside and basking in the sun. Then, she looked at Li Fan who was using beautiful knife skills to cut vegetables in the kitchen. It seemed that it made some sense. This imperial concubine is here. Is there no one to greet me? The voice of imperial concubine Zhou came from outside the door. Li Fan looked back and saw imperial concubine Zhou wearing a beautiful traditional Chinese dress slowly walking in from the door. I know you have no one to cook. Go and use the kitchen well. Imperial concubine Zhou ordered. From behind, more than 10 star chefs came into the kitchen and began to help Li Fan. Hey, Li Fan's mood to cook was interrupted. He looked at imperial concubine Zhou with some displeasure. What are you doing? Helping you. Imperial concubine Zhou casually said, after all, this imperial concubine's appetite is very picky. Ordinary food can't enter this imperial concubine's mouth. But, didn't you also eat happily? Li Fan couldn't help but ask. Do you want to be chewed and eaten by this imperial concubine? Imperial concubine Zhou smilingly asked Li Fan. Ahem, then let them cook. Let's get busy with something else. Since imperial concubine Zhou also came to celebrate the new year, it added some liveliness. These chefs, aren't they celebrating the new year? Li Fan asked. Compared to celebrating the new year, they are more willing to make money. Imperial concubine Zhou smiled sweetly. All right. Then what should we do? Li Fan felt that celebrating the new year was also a worrisome thing. How about celebrating the new year? Imperial concubine Zhou asked. Ahem, with his apprentices around, Li Fan's old face turned red. This imperial concubine Zhou was getting more and more presumptuous. Let's give out red packets first. Li Fan took out the red packets that he had already prepared. Come, apprentices, accept the red packets. Happy New Year, Master. His two apprentices gave their New Year greetings to Li Fan and accepted the red packets. Dragon Girl was obviously Li Fan's mentor, but she also accepted one and happily accepted it. You're not giving it to this imperial concubine? Imperial concubine Zhou sat next to him and looked at Li Fan with some resentment. You. So rich. Are you blaming this empress? Alright. Li Fan obediently handed over the red packet with 1,000 yuan inside. It was just a gesture. Fortunately, I prepared a few more today. Just when Li Fan was rejoicing, two people came into the martial arts school. One fat and one thin, both wearing gray uniforms and masks. Is it the Seven Heroes Martial Arts School? As soon as the thin man came in, he shouted, "The real estate bureau asked us to come and check your gas pipe. They also want to check during the new year." Lu Xiaohu was squatting at the door counting money. When he heard them talking, he couldn't help but be curious. Isn't it? It's not easy to do this kind of work. Just when the fat man opened his mouth to complain, the thin man patted his shoulder. What are you talking about? This is our job. Only after the inspection can everyone have a good new year. Then I'll thank you in advance. Li Fan pointed to the kitchen. They are cooking. Do you want to take a break first? When the two saw the bustling kitchen, they were a little dumbfounded. Chapter 1155. The atmosphere of the Lunar New Year was fading. This was how the people felt about New Year's Eve. For the Northeast assassin duo, New Year's Eve was a torture. If they could not finish their work, they would have no money. If they had no money, they could not celebrate the New Year. In order to complete their work, the two of them disguised themselves as workers from the Real Estate Bureau and openly entered the Qixia Martial Arts School. They wanted to take the opportunity to kill Li Fan, but they did not expect there to be so many people here. More than 10 chefs were busy in the kitchen, and they had no chance to intervene. Brother, what should we do now? The fat guy could not help but be anxious and was comforted by the skinny guy. It's okay, we have time. Wait. The skinny guy gritted his teeth. To achieve great things, one must have patience. The duo decided to lie low and wait for the chefs to leave before making their move. But things were getting more and more ridiculous. The door of the martial arts school was pushed open again, and a few martial artists entered. These martial artists were wearing black and red uniforms with the words, "Wind Martial Arts School," printed on it. You are Li Fan. The leader was a big and burly man. As soon as he came in, he shouted at the top of his lungs, "Boss." Yes. Li Fan looked at the martial artist in front of him and maintained his manners. The Harmony Wind Martial School. It should be the martial school across from us. Li Fan cupped his hands at him. What can I do for you? I am the owner of Wind Martial Arts School, Wang Dali. The owner looked at Li Fan with displeasure. I am here to challenge the school today. Unfortunately, it is New Year's Eve, and the school is not open. Li Fan gestured for the owner to leave. Please go back. Why, Li Fan, are you afraid? Wang Dali sneered. Since that is the case, let's begin. Li Fan took 2 steps forward, but Wang Dali raised his hand. Sigh, my legs have been acting up recently, and I am not fit to compete. What do you mean? Did I ask you to come here to play? Lu Xiaohu was unhappy and stared at him. Wang Dali quickly said. What's the hurry? Wang Dali turned around, and the disciples behind him pushed out a young lady. The little girl was about 17 or 18 years old. She had a graceful figure and a clean and pretty face. She had a ponytail and was wearing a Taoist robe. She bowed to Li Fan. Hello, Master Li, look, this is my daughter, Wang Xiaoran. Wang Dali said proudly. She has already learned everything from me. It's not a problem to let her fight for me. I see. Li Fan nodded. This way, please. Inside was a place to study and attend classes. The courtyard outside was very clean, which was suitable for martial arts challenges. Murong liked to pick a courtyard for herself. It was very unique, and Li Fan liked it very much. When he had nothing to do, he liked to practice his fist technique in this courtyard. In the past, he used to practice the Seven Heroes Fist. Recently, he had been practicing the dragon fighting technique. Li Fan wanted to familiarize himself with this set of martial arts. However, if he were to compete with this little girl, he would not be able to use the dragon battle technique. Master Li, I am practicing the dragon capturing fist that was personally created by my father. Wang Xiaoran cupped her hands at Li Fan and said, my father has a leg disease, so let me fight for him against you. Dragon capturing fist. In this world, is there really a dragon that can be captured? Li Fan pointed out something. The dragon girl at the side made a face. Master Li, please be careful. After Wang Xiaoran finished speaking, she raised her head. The pretty and pure little girl was now like a little sheep. But at this moment, her eyes suddenly burst out with intense light. She was filled with fighting intent. It was as if she had changed into a different person. Li Fan thought, could it be that she is a Gemini? Hi! Wang Xiaoran immediately launched a fierce attack. She leaped forward and sent a flying knee straight at Li Fan. This flying knee had the fierceness of Muay Thai. This move was clean and beautiful. Even Li Fan could not help but want to praise it. Pa! Li Fan's body leaned to the side. This flying knee hit the tree behind Li Fan. This small tree swayed a bit, and a large piece of bark was smashed. For a little girl who had never practiced internal force, this was quite powerful. Wang Xiaoran's reaction was also very fast. She grabbed the tree with both hands and used the tree as a support. Her whole body lifted up and kicked horizontally at Li Fan. Li Fan stretched out his hands and blocked in front of him. He did not use internal force, so he was kicked back a step. Yo! Lu Xiaohu was a little surprised, she can actually force Master to retreat. Amazing! Humph, if Master used internal force, this kind of small character would not be able to get close. Jiang Yi curled his lips, feeling quite unhappy. There's no other way. This is the martial arts prohibition period. Moreover, the other party does not know internal force. If we use internal force, wouldn't we be bullying them? Jianghu is a place where the weak are prey to the strong. Master is too kind. Jiang Yi missed his master who wore a tiger mask. Don't worry, Master is just playing with that little girl. She is older than you. Well, Master is just playing with that little sister. That's all, right? Why is a man so talkative? Fuck, Lu Xiaohu wanted to curse. As for that girl, she was in a stalemate with Li Fan. She kept attacking Li Fan fiercely. Li Fan was not in a hurry. He retreated step by step, avoiding the opponent's attack. Master, look, junior sister has forced the other party to retreat. Yes, junior sister is so powerful. The people from the Wind Martial Arts School were all clapping their hands and praising. Wang Dali was very proud, stroking his mustache. This dragon capturing fist is really good. As Li Fan retreated, he did not forget to praise the girl. You are so young, but you can practice martial arts to such a level, it is worthy of praise. Thank you for your praise, Master Li, but I will not be lenient. The girl's face slightly blushed. She seemed to be a little happy, but she suppressed it. I will not be arrogant. After saying that, the girl directly swept her leg toward Li Fan's cheek. Li Fan leaned back, dodging the girl's leg whip. However, the girl actually stopped the inertia and raised her leg high into the air, as if she was raising a battle axe. Big Bang technique. The girl's leg chopped down toward Li Fan's body. The momentum is indeed amazing. Li Fan stretched out his hands, lowered his body, and used his hands to catch the chopped-down kick. Taking advantage of the girl's exclamation, he grabbed her leg and directly threw her out. The girl's hands propped on the ground, directly somersaulted, and restabilized her body. So powerful, Master Li. The girl raised her head and looked at Li Fan, worthy to be an expert who repelled other martial arts schools. There is indeed a need to challenge. Well, you are very powerful. From now on, I will seriously fight with you. Li Fan put one hand behind his back and hooked his finger at the girl. You? Letting me use only one hand is considered serious. Chapter 1156. N. Li Fan nodded seriously. Come on, little girl. Don't look down on me. The girl seemed to be a little angry. She adjusted her posture, stepped forward, and threw out a blast punch. This dragon subduing fist technique, every punch was a 1-inch punch. If the punch landed on a person's body, even with true energy protection, it would still hurt. But Li Fan stretched out his hand, grabbed the girl's wrist, and pulled her back. The girl lost her balance, and Li Fan followed up with a knee strike, hitting the girl's lower abdomen. The girl was in pain, took a step back, and held her stomach. Ah, junior sister is at a disadvantage. Master, what should we do? The people from Wind Martial School asked Wang Dali. What are you worrying about? It's common to be at a disadvantage in a duel. My daughter will be able to suppress it in a while. Wang Dali forced himself to calm down. But he understood in his heart, to be able to use one hand to make his daughter at a disadvantage, this was something that even he could not do. This Li Fan, was he really that strong? Come, let's continue. Li Fan beckoned to Wang Xiaoran. Don't be too proud. Wang Xiaoran took a few steps forward, and appeared in front of Li Fan again. This step was a modern boxing technique, and Wang Xiaoran had mastered it well, as if it was at her fingertips. She turned around and went behind Li Fan, then turned around and kicked again. This time, it was a whip kick, coming from behind towards Li Fan. Li Fan did not even turn his head. He pushed his shoulder with one hand, and directly grabbed the girl's calf. Eh! The girl exclaimed, not knowing how Li Fan deduced that she would kick from behind. Lie down. Li Fan knocked back, and directly sent Wang Xiaoran flying, smashing in front of him. Li Fan aimed at Wang Xiaoran's head, and directly kicked out. The tip of his shoe was only a finger's length away from Wang Xiaoran's temple. The people from the Wind Martial Arts School were terrified, but Li Fan stopped at the most critical moment and spared Wang Xiaoran's life. This is the end. Li Fan retracted his leg and extended his hand towards Wang Xiaoran, who was lying on the ground. Thank you, Master Li. Wang Xiaoran was defeated, and she accepted her defeat wholeheartedly. The challenge on New Year's Eve ended with her defeat. Although I lost, I'm very happy. Wang Xiaoran bowed to Li Fan. If possible, please allow me to study in your dojo. What? Wang Dali was dumbfounded when he heard this. My dear daughter, what do you mean? Father, I want to take Master Li as my master. Wang Xiaoran said with certainty, Master Li is very strong. What? Is your father's kung fu not good enough? Father's dragon capturing fist is also very powerful. But if I want to become even stronger, I need someone like Master Li to teach me. Wang Xiaoran insisted, please accept me, Master Li. Sure. Li Fan pulled Wang Xiaoran up. You can take me as your master. This is a dojo, and I welcome anyone to learn martial arts. About that, let's talk about it later. Wang Dali felt a little sour at the side. Let's go back for the new year first. Father. Wang Xiaoran had already thrown caution to the wind. I want to be Master Li's disciple, so I have to stay at Master Li's house for the next 2 years. For these 2 years, please don't miss me, father. Li Fan felt that Wang Dali was about to burst into tears. Ah, being a disciple is equivalent to being an advanced student. Lu Xiaohu quickly added on for his master, the school fees are very expensive. It's more than 100,000 a year. It's alright, my father will pay for me. Wang Xiaoran turned to look at her father, right? Father? Yes, yes. I'll listen to you. Wang Dali was about to cry, as long as my daughter likes it, I'm fine with anything. Great fatherly love. Lu Xiaohu was touched. It had been a long time since he went home to visit. Father, then I'll be staying here today. Tell mother not to worry about me. Wang Dali left with a sad face. His daughter becoming someone else's disciple was probably a blow to him. There's a dormitory in the martial arts club, you can eat and stay here. Li Fan led Wang Xiaoran into the martial arts club, but you can also stay at home. After all, your home is in Ji City. No, I've decided to eat and stay with master and work hard to learn martial arts. Wang Xiaoran was determined. I like to practice martial arts. This is what I should do. Oh. I heard that there's a place called Pugilistic World, and there's a chief of Pugilistic World, named Murong. Wang Xiaoran seemed to be yearning. I want to be a woman like her. Eat and stay together for 2 years. Li Fan asked, you're not going to school anymore. Thank you for your concern, master. I'm 17 this year and have finished my 3rd year of high school. Li Fan wanted to curse. Another fucking genius girl. I'll study with master for 2 years, then I'll take the college entrance exam. It's not too late to go to university at 19 years old, right? It's not too late. Li Fan was speechless. How could all the women he knew be so smart? She's only 16 years old and has a foundation in martial arts. If she follows me for 2 years, she should be able to learn very well. In this way, I finally have a student in my advanced class. This new year seems to be a bit lively. Li Fan returned to his martial arts club. The chefs that Imperial concubine Zhou hired were still busy preparing all kinds of sumptuous meals. Hey, why aren't your chefs done yet? Li Fan looked at the 2 workers who were still waiting and couldn't help but ask Imperial concubine Zhou, who was standing in front of the table. At this time, there was a zither placed in front of Imperial concubine Zhou. Imperial concubine Zhou seemed to be tuning it carefully, as if she was looking at her own child. Today is New Year's Eve. I've ordered them to make 108 sumptuous meals. Naturally, it will take longer. 108 sumptuous meals. Li Fan was also speechless. This was too fucking ridiculous. If not for the fact that many of them are protected animals, I would have tasted the legendary Manchu Han Imperial Feast. Imperial concubine Zhou stroked her zither. Today is New Year's Eve, 108 sumptuous meals is already too little. Looking at these delicious dishes, the fat and thin duo swallowed their saliva. Wang Xiaoran was also somewhat surprised. This is too wasteful. Who is this little girl? Imperial concubine Zhou finally raised her head and saw Wang Xiaoran, who came in. Advanced class student, from now on, she will be my disciple. Just as Li Fan's voice fell, Imperial concubine Zhou suddenly appeared in front of him and pressed her hand on Wang Xiaoran's head. Wang Xiaoran was taken aback, but before she could react, her body couldn't move. Her body, along with Imperial concubine Zhou's hand, was slowly sucked up and floated in the air. This child doesn't have any internal force. Imperial concubine Zhou loosened her hand and Wang Xiaoran fell back to the ground. Chapter 1157. Wang Xiaoran did not understand what happened, but Imperial concubine Zhou had already returned to her seat, as if she had never been there. What a blank piece of paper, but she has quite the potential. Imperial concubine Zhou commented. The fat and skinny brothers were dumbfounded. What was going on? What was that woman's origin? Was she a monster? Master. What happened just now? Wang Xiaoran only felt a chill run through her body, and then her body was motionless. She flew into the air and then fell back down, and the chill faded. It's okay. Li Fan gently placed his hand on Wang Xiaoran's shoulder, and a warm current flowed into her body, warming her up again. This is called true qi. Jiang Yi seemed to be a little jealous. Master was too good to every new disciple. She pulled Wang Xiaoran to her side. You are in the advanced class, so you will slowly learn. True qi. Wang Xiaoran still did not understand, and the fat and skinny brothers were still in shock. After the new year, Li Taiyi will also be back on vacation. Li Fan calculated, this Korean guy, I wonder how his martial arts are. Oh right, Chi is also coming. Now that the business of the escort agency is not good, she plans to learn martial arts from me. Fortunately, Abe Haruko does not plan to come, or else I would not be able to teach her. Li Fan was a little clear-headed, that island country girl was a woman who did not do proper work, it was really too good. Master. What is true chi? Wang Xiaoran could not help but ask. She felt that she had opened the door to a strange world. Xiaoran, since you have already become my disciple, I should tell you about this. But before that, you should first get to know your senior brothers. Li Fan pointed at the people in front of him. This is the head disciple of the Seven Knights sect, Lu Xiaohu. When Li Fan introduced Lu Xiaohu, the kid's front teeth were almost crooked from smiling. Junior sister, from now on, follow your senior brother well. Your senior brother will protect you. Jiang Yi stood at the side with her arms crossed, dissatisfied. This is your second senior sister, Jiang Yi. Li Fan touched Jiang Ye's hair and comforted her. She usually does not like to talk, but she is actually a good person. Hello. Although they were both girls, Wang Xiaoran was much more intimate with them. This made Lu Xiaohu feel that it was very unfair, but he could only endure it. Who asked her to be a girl? You also have a third senior sister called Abe Haruko, but she's not here. Aya, a Japanese? Yes. Li Fan said that it was fate that he could accept her. Li Fan then introduced the rest of the disciples. Wang Xiaoran was the last to join the sect, so she became the junior sister. Our Seven Chivalry sect practices the Seven Chivalry Fist. Li Fan continued, you probably don't know much about it. Yes, this is the first time I've heard of it. Wang Xiaoran thought for a moment, what kind of martial arts? This is also a kung fu I created myself. Li Fan explained, I'll get little Tiger to teach you the details later. From now on, your homework will be taught by Xiaohu. If there's anything you don't understand, you can come to me for advice. You want me to teach you? Wang Xiaoran was relieved. Since he was the head disciple, his kung fu should not be bad. Many martial arts sects were like this. The master would usually only accept one senior disciple and teach him kung fu in detail. As for the other disciples who entered later, the senior disciple would teach them. Moreover, since you're a senior disciple, what you learn is real kung fu. As Li Fan said that, he stretched out his palm and hit a pillar in front of him. Bam! A palm print was directly imprinted on the pillar. We practice inner force, also known as true chi. There's really true chi. Wang Xiaoran was dumbfounded. She had practiced martial arts for so many years, but this was the first time she saw the existence of true chi. However, there's currently a martial arts prohibition in the martial arts world. Since you've learned inner force, you must remember not to show it in front of others. Otherwise, the consequences will be very serious. Stupid martial arts prohibition. Imperial concubine Zhou could not help but ridicule, if this was the great Ming dynasty, this concubine would not let the emperor issue such a decree. It's really shameful. Don't listen to her. This is for the sake of your own life. Li Fan interrupted Imperial concubine Zhou's words, practicing martial arts is to strengthen the body, not to fight. Disciple will remember. Wang Xiaoran nodded. Since her master said so, she agreed. In 2 years, you should be able to reach the acme of perfection. Li Fan nodded, but there's no hurry. Let's eat something today. Master, please accept our worship. Just as Li Fan was about to arrange Wang Xiaoran's accommodation, the fat and thin duo suddenly knelt down in front of Li Fan and directly kowtowed 3 times. I was wondering when you're going to make your move. Why, you two don't want to kill me this time, but want to worship me as your master. Li Fan turned his head and looked at the two of them. You recognize the two of us? The thin man was surprised and then took off his mask. The fat man exclaimed, Brother, he seems really powerful. Nonsense. The thin man patted him and then kowtowed again in front of Li Fan. Master, both of us are from the countryside and want to be outstanding. I think you two can be more down to earth. Li Fan rejected their request to worship him as his master. It's better not to practice martial arts. Go home and work as a farmer. Master, when we were young, the two of us have practiced a little bit of Zhuang family style. We have some strength, please accept it. The thin man seemed to be eloquent. I know, learning martial arts requires a fee. I don't have much money, but I can serve you tea, run errands, and so on. I'll work for free as my tuition fee. What do you think? I have to work again. The fat man was dispirited. Idiot, is this work the same as working at home? The thin man kicked him from behind. Don't talk, you'll show your timidity when you talk. The two of you learn martial arts in order to be outstanding? Yes, we want to be outstanding and have a good reputation. Yes, we want to live a good life. The two of them nodded desperately. Why do the two of you think that practicing martial arts can make you outstanding? Because you're very strong. The thin man replied without hesitation, I also want to be as strong as you, so that I can bully others. Then your ultimate purpose of practicing martial arts is to bully others? Li Fan looked at the fat man. What about you? What's your purpose? Me? I want to marry a beautiful wife. The fat man said seriously, nowadays, beautiful girls only care about money, so I want to practice martial arts, then make money and finally marry a beautiful wife. I see. Li Fan nodded. You two are very honest, so this matter. Chapter 1158. Master, please grant us our wish. The two of them had a tacit understanding. At this time, they both knelt down and kowtowed to Li Fan. All right, it's fine to take you in. Lu Xiaohu was a little surprised that Li Fan actually agreed. But in front of them, he naturally did not ask. Thank you, Master. That's great. The two of them were overjoyed, but Li Fan stretched out his hand. I'll say the ugly words first. The two of you are practicing martial arts for free. As apprentices, you naturally have to work for me, right? Yes. I have no problem working. The two of them agreed. Okay, both of you have to work here for 10 years. After 10 years, I will let you go, how about it? 10 years. This number was not short. How long could a person live? 70 or 80 years was considered a long life. Especially in modern times, with suboptimal health. And this was 10 years, 1/7 of one's life. Within 10 years, you will work here, and I will teach you some martial arts. If you leave early, I will send people to kill you. Jiang Yi. Yes, Master. Jiang Yi took a step forward and unsheathed the long sword in her hand. She turned around and sheathed the sword. The chair behind the two of them was directly split in half. The fat and thin duo felt their skin tighten and their scalp tingle. Oh my God, what is this? Is it sword chi? This is the rule of my sect. If you can abide by it, then come. I will naturally welcome you. If you can't abide by it, then leave now. You have other choices. Brother. Why don't we reconsider? The fat guy was a little hesitant. Reconsider my ass. The thin guy took off his hat and threw it on the ground. Master, 10 years it is. Instead of living a sullen life, it is better to use these 10 years in exchange for a better time in the future. But let's be clear, after 10 years, if I leave, you won't stop me, right? Of course not. You won't care what I do when I go out, right? I won't care about you, that is your freedom. That's good. The skinny guy made his decision. From today onwards, I am a member of this dojo. Senior brothers and sisters, if you need anything in the future, feel free to order me around. I, Gangzi, guarantee that I will not complain at all. Then what should I do, brother? Dog's leftovers, let me ask you, do you believe me? The skinny man asked one of his companions from the village. I do, but my mom said that those who believe you are idiots." The skinny guy was speechless. "Don't worry about what your mother says. I might have made some mistakes in judgment in the past, but it won't be the same this time. You saw their kung fu. Don't you want to become so strong?" "Yes, don't you want to live a good life in the future and sleep with any beautiful girl you want?" "Yes, that's it." The skinny guy patted his head. "Trust me. Study here for 10 years. 10 years later, we will still be heroes." "Alright, I'll trust you again." The two of them knelt down in front of Li Fan and kowtowed 3 times. "This new year, you see, it's quite lively." Li Fan smiled at Imperial concubine Zhou, who continued to play the zither. "You too. You accept anyone." Imperial concubine Zhou looked down on these two people. They were not young anymore, what could they learn? "I don't want to teach them kung fu, but character." Li Fan transmitted his voice. "These two people don't seem to be bad in nature. If I don't care about them and throw them into society, they will inevitably become 2 scourges in the future. But if I stay and influence them for 10 years, perhaps I can change their future. There is no benefit in being a good person." Imperial concubine Zhou reminded Li Fan, "Don't forget, in this world, only evil people can live well. I don't want to be like Murong Bo, that kind of bastard." Li Fan said and looked back at the 2 people kneeling there. "Just now, I introduced the senior brothers and sisters here. You already know them. Now, why don't you introduce yourselves?" "Master, my name is Feng Weiqi, nicknamed Gangzi. His name is Lu Jinxi, nicknamed Go Sheng." "Master, you can call us by our nicknames, we are used to it." "Okay." Li Fan glanced at Wang Xiaoran with a smile. "Xiaoran, look, you've gained 2 more junior brothers. I will teach them well." Wang Xiaoran put on the appearance of a senior sister. "Master, please rest assured." This Wang Xiaoran seemed to have a strong sense of responsibility. "Okay, it just so happens that Xiao Ai and Xiao Wan haven't come back yet. Since I have time, I will teach you some basic things." Li Fan said, stood up and walked to a wooden dummy. Practicing kung fu, hitting wooden dummies is common. "Come and hit this wooden dummy, let me see your strength." "Yes, master." Wang Xiaoran excitedly walked over. "I am best at hitting wooden dummies." With that, Wang Xiaoran stepped into a horse stance and directly hit the dummy with a set of fist technique. Her 1-inch force practice was extremely good. The dummy was hit until it trembled and made a peng-peng sound. Go Sheng and Gangzi, one fat and one thin, looked at the side in a daze. They often saw this on TV, but it was the first time they saw it in real life. "Master, hitting this dummy is so painful, can you hit a sandbag?" Gangzi looked a little timid. "You think hitting a sandbag doesn't hurt? You watch too much TV." Lu Xiaohu walked over. As a teacher of the advanced class and the eldest senior brother, he naturally had to be more dignified. This Lu Xiaohu stared at them. The 2 of them were a little unconvinced. "Isn't it just a wooden dummy, what are you afraid of?" "Senior sister, step aside, let me do it." Gangzi stepped forward, waved his arm, roared a few times, increased the output, and then punched the dummy. Suddenly, he screamed in pain, covered his hand and blew. "Go Sheng, right? Fat guy, you go." Lu Xiaohu pointed at the fatty. Go Sheng walked forward, directly hugged the dummy, and hit his head on it. "Hi!" Bang! Go Sheng was knocked into a daze, spinning in circles, and a crack actually appeared on the dummy. "Fuck you, you know body hardening qigong." Gangzi shouted at his companion. Yes, he knows a bit of body hardening qigong, so he's a bit better at hitting the dummy. As for Wang Xiaoran, she practices the 1-inch force, and she's also good at hitting the dummy. Li Fan put his hand on Lu Xiaohu's shoulder. "Xiaohu?" "Yes, master." Lu Xiaohu nodded, and then stared at his junior brothers and sisters. "You guys watch carefully." As he said that, Lu Xiaohu directly slapped the dummy. The dummy broke with a crack, and the upper half flew out, instantly smashing into a vase placed on the opposite side. Jiang Yi suddenly made a move. From a distance, a sword chi split the dummy into 4 pieces, and saved the vase. Lu Xiaohu was a little embarrassed. But his junior brothers and sisters were all dumbfounded. Chapter 1159. Senior sister, you're amazing. Second senior sister, please teach me sword chi. A group of people looked at Jiang Yi in admiration. Lu Xiaohu almost exploded in anger. Fuck, where's the eldest senior brother's domineering and majesty? I was the one who broke the wooden stake, okay? You guys, be quiet. Lu Xiaohu scolded and they quieted down. Everyone calm down. What I'm going to tell you today is the wonders of our internal energy. Li Fan stood in front of everyone. He looked at his disciples with excitement. Li Fan stretched out his right hand and grabbed the wooden stake fragments that were scattered on the ground in the distance. These 4 fragments directly flew up and reassembled in the air. Then, they were dragged back to the broken wooden stake and reassembled. This, brother, am I seeing things? Master, is this true chi? The few disciples were dumbfounded again. Yes, almost. I'm just using true chi to control them. Li Fan said and loosened his grip. The wooden stake broke again and fell to his feet. But master, does my martial arts have no meaning? Wang Xiaoran could not help but ask. Of course not. Li Fan patted her shoulder. Martial arts is to cultivate both internally and externally in order to become stronger. Let me make an analogy. 2 soldiers with guns in their hands. Naturally, the one with better shooting and better athletic ability will win, right? Yes, that's right. This gun is the internal energy that we martial artists cultivate. And shooting skill is fighting ability. When 2 soldiers fight alone, it's nothing more than shooting skill and the level of the weapon. Think about it. 2 people with similar shooting skills, but one is using a pistol and the other is using an RPG. Who do you think will win? The one who shoots first wins. Fatty suddenly interrupted from the side. Li Fan was stunned by his words. Fuck, there seems to be a loophole. What are you talking about? Can a pistol defeat an RPG? One long-range shot will kill him. The skinny guy slapped his head. No. Go Sheng is right. However, Li Fan suddenly laughed. But a person who has reached a certain level of internal energy can't just carry an RPG, but also wear a bulletproof vest. Really? Fatty didn't seem to believe it. You don't believe me? Come on, punch me. Li Fan stood there with his arms crossed. You can use as much force as you want. You can hit any part of it. Really? Can I kick your dick too? Sure. The girls rolled their eyes at the same time. This dog leftover was too straightforward. Then, master, I'm sorry. Fatty kicked Li Fan's crotch. However, Li Fan did not budge at all, as if he was made of steel. On the other hand, Fatty's leg was almost fractured. He screamed in pain and sat on the ground, hugging his leg. Xiaohu, check it. Li Fan asked Lu Xiaohu to check Fatty's injury. It was just a slight contusion, and he would be fine after some rest. This is the aura shield. Li Fan explained, the aura shield can protect our body, but at the same time, a powerful true energy attack can penetrate the aura shield. Then, master, with the aura shield, can I be invulnerable? The skinny guy hurriedly asked. There was a hint of excitement in his expression. Not really. Li Fan reminded the skinny guy, don't underestimate the power of a bullet. The point of force is greater than the surface. I think you should know this, right? Huh? The skinny guy was obviously not good at physics. You use your finger to poke your hand. Can you poke it in? Nope. Then you use a needle. Can you poke it in? Aren't needles made of steel? Then you use a steel as thick as your finger. Can you poke it in? Nope. The skinny guy seemed to understand a little. This is the point of force is greater than the surface. Li Fan stretched out his hand and poked his finger directly into the remaining half of the wooden stake, leaving a shocking hole on it. This is the effect of bullets. When we practice martial arts, we also pursue this effect. Using a point to hit the surface will yield twice the result with half the effort. I see. I understand, Master. Then we can't fight head-on with guns, right? It's best not to. Li Fan reminded the skinny guy, it's too dangerous. Especially now, in order to suppress Jianghu, the government has developed many special weapons that specifically target martial artists. Even I don't dare to provoke them. I understand. I'll be careful. No one knew what the skinny guy was thinking in his mind. Today is New Year's Eve. I shouldn't have been so long-winded. But since I'm interested, I said a few more words. Li Fan sat back on his armchair. Jiang Yi served him tea. However, I still have to tell you about the sex moves. We practice the Seven Heroes Fist, which is a martial art created by your master a few years ago. The Seven Heroes Fist was born out of the Five Animals play and is mainly based on Xingyi Fist. The 7 fist styles are different. You can pick one to practice. This way, it'll be easier to master. At that time, your senior brother will explain it to you in detail. Master, during the competition, I didn't see you use the 7 Heroes Fist. Wang Xiaoran suddenly asked, and the atmosphere in the air became tense. You little girl, why are you asking so many questions? Lu Xiaohu was about to scold her but was stopped by Li Fan. It's nothing. It doesn't matter. He explained, I fell into an enemy's trap, so I can't use my sex martial arts. But, Xiaohu has already learned most of my martial arts. He's completely qualified for this job. There's actually such a thing. Wang Xiaoran was very curious about the 7 Heroes Fist. Then, Master, can I compete with senior brother and see how the 7 Heroes Fist is? This is just a small matter. There's no need to trouble Xiaohu. Let me do it. A beautiful voice came. Everyone looked at the door. It was Lu Wan, and Murong. Brother-in-law. As soon as Xiao Ai came back, she excitedly ran over and threw herself into Li Fan's arms. You're finally back. Take a rest. Li Fan nodded at Lu Wan, Jiang Yi stepped forward and took the down jacket that Lu Wan, took off and hung it on the side. Today is the company's settlement. I have a lot of things to do. Fortunately, Xiao Ai helped me. Otherwise, I really can't do it alone. This girl can help you. Li Fan was a little surprised. So annoying. Why doesn't brother-in-law believe me? Murong pouted, I'm very powerful, okay? Yes, yes, yes. Your mouth is powerful. Li Fan pinched Murong's small mouth. With a pun, Murong's small face immediately turned red. There are new disciples today. There are quite a few. Lu Wan, sat next to Li Fan and looked at the 3 new disciples in front of her. Imperial concubine Zhou also came. Happy New Year. Humph. Imperial concubine Zhou was obviously unhappy with this little girl. She hated all the women that Li Fan liked. Chapter 1160. Do you know martial arts too? Looking at the pretty and generous Lu Wan, Wang Xiaoran was a little surprised. Yes, I'm your master's senior. I learned a few moves from him. Lu Wan, looked at the serious girl in front of her. If you don't mind, we can spar. After learning martial arts, Lu Wan, became much more confident. Her body condition was good and her martial arts training was smooth sailing. In addition to some private lessons from Li Fan, her true energy was stronger. I remember I've seen you somewhere, the fat guy muttered, it seems to be some news. Hey, aren't you the boss of Fifan Entertainment? The skinny guy suddenly realized, fuck, I like Shin-Chen a lot. And Wulin girl. Shin-Chen is our artist and Wulin girl is your senior. Lu Wan, smiled, Fifan Entertainment is your master's company. Fuck, the few of them were shocked. No wonder someone paid to kill master. It seems that master is really hateful. The skinny guy could not help but sigh. Who wants to kill Li Fan? Lu Wan immediately exploded when she heard this. This girl, who was usually gentle, was angry at this time. Her voice carried some anger, but it was somewhat impressive. The skinny guy shivered and quickly waved his hand. I don't know him. I only know he's called Boss Wang. But I guess it's a fake name. Lu Wan sat there, thinking for a moment and soon came to a conclusion. Li Fan is from the Martial Arts Association. Ah. Li Fan was taken aback. How did you know? Before Lin Yuhsn left, she asked me to use Weibo's public opinion tactic to deal with those guys from the Martial Arts Association. But she also reminded me that this might make the Martial Arts Association want to deal with us. I thought about it carefully and it should be so. Lin Yuhsn is a monster, Li Fan was finally convinced. This girl's IQ was not for nothing. Basically, there was nothing she couldn't calculate. This group of people is too sinister. Lu Xiaohu was furious. Master, I'm going out. I won't eat dinner tonight. Stop right there. Li Fan waved his hand and the door of the dojo closed with a bang. Master, they're already bullying us. Why are we still sitting here? Lu Xiaohu was furious. I'm going to challenge them one by one and make sure they don't have a good New Year. It's New Year's Eve this year. We have to celebrate our New Year's Eve. There's no need to ruin it for them. Li Fan wasn't angry at all. It won't be too late to settle the score with them after the New Year. Then when does Master plan to settle the score? Lu Xiaohu was a little anxious. After the New Year, you will go to 3 dojos every day. Li Fan slowly took a sip of the tea in his cup. In less than a week, they will find us. I just can't take this lying down. Even Jiang Yi didn't say anything. Why are you so impulsive? Alright, sit down and do as your master says. Lu Wan'er also knew that there was no need to rush her revenge. She comforted Lu Xiaohu and then added another sentence for fear that he would be worried. Don't worry, your master is a wily old fox. Li Fan was a little speechless. Since when was he a wily old fox? Alright, I'll listen to you. Lu Xiaohu had to nod his head in agreement and endure this anger for now. What are you worried about? Imperial concubine Zhou was happy and contented. Since the other party can hire these two, their IQ is probably only a so-so. Why worry? The fat and thin duo didn't know what to say. They just faintly felt that what this beautiful woman said was very reasonable. In Li Fan's dojo, the girls were all beautiful. Especially the girl who was tuning the zither, she was as beautiful as a painting. The fat and thin duo were a little jealous, but they were also full of confidence for the future. As long as they practiced martial arts well, they would be accompanied by beautiful girls. Li Fan, I'm hungry. Dragon Girl finally came out of the room. The little girl rubbed her eyes as if she had just woken up. This girl now slept after eating and ate after waking up. She was living a carefree life. Alright, it's getting late. Let's prepare for the New Year's Eve dinner. Li Fan said and turned on the TV in the living room. Ah, Mango TV. Murong picked up the remote control and was about to switch to Mango TV. Don't change the channel, the Spring Festival Gala is about to begin. Li Fan hurriedly said. Who wants to watch the Spring Festival Gala? It's so boring. Or watch the Mango TV, they are all big stars. Murong AI giggled, there's also my male god. Who is your male god? Wang Han. Li Fan said, this girl likes uncles. I can't tell that she has a big uncle complex. Yes, watch Mango TV, my Korean dolls are here too. The dragon girl also sat on the sofa happily. I want to watch the Spring Festival Gala. Li Fan wanted to cry but had no tears. Watching the Spring Festival gala while eating dumplings was the habit of people from the Northeast. Don't quarrel, this consort will play a song for you. After saying that, Imperial concubine Zhou finally began to play the zither. Dragon Girl was not interested at first, but after listening to 2 parts, she quickly turned off the TV. Imperial concubine Zhou's zither was long and leisurely, as if a palace painting of the Ming dynasty was unfolded in front of them. This outstanding zither skill and timbre made Li Fan think of Cheng Mohan, that little girl from the Genie Guards. However, Imperial concubine Zhou's zither had a kind of atmosphere, which was the portrayal of a strong expert. Even the few apprentices were dumbfounded. This martial arts school was really full of hidden dragons and crouching tigers. There was actually such a powerful musician. After the song was finished, it lingered in the air. Everyone was still longing for more. Not bad. Li Fan broke the silence and took the lead to clap. Imperial concubine Zhou, play another song. No. Imperial concubine Zhou put away her zither. This consort only plays 1 song a year. Damn, what kind of rule is this? This is too awesome. Alright, let's eat the New Year's Eve dinner. Serve the dishes. Imperial concubine Zhou snapped her fingers. Her voice carried a penetrating power, directly entering the kitchen. Soon, the kitchen door was opened. One by one, the chefs came out from the inside, pushing a cart. On top of each cart, there was a sumptuous meal. Seeing this, Dragon Girl could only swallow her saliva. Li Fan thought for a moment. With this girl here, it seemed like it would not be a waste. Thank you everyone for accompanying me this year. Li Fan called everyone to sit around the table and then raised his wine cup. Li Fan, from an ordinary high school student, came to where I am today. It can be said that we are fated to meet each and every one of you. I hope that on this day next year, we can still gather here. I wish everyone a happy new year and a prosperous martial arts. I also wish brother-in-law to become the world's #1 as soon as possible. Murong loved to accompany Li Fan, so she was not lonely. She also raised her wine cup. After 3 rounds of wine and 5 different dishes, Lu Wan suddenly had a bright idea and thought of an idea. Drinking like this is boring. How about we play a drinking game? Chapter 1161. Drinking game. You even know how to play drinking game? Li Fan was a little surprised. This Lu Wan had always been well-behaved and generous. Why would she make such a bold move today? You seem to be thinking of dirty things. Lu Wan covered her mouth and chuckled. She immediately guessed Li Fan's thoughts. Drinking game can also be very elegant, okay? That's right. The drinking game was invented by scholars, wasn't it? Lu Xiaohu also remembered, when we had a gathering in junior high school, we also played this. You started drinking in junior high school? Jiang Yi was a little surprised as she looked at Lu Xiaohu. That's nothing, I even made my girlfriend miscarry in junior high school. The thin guy curled his lips and was violently beaten on the head by Wang Xiaoran. Scum. Io, senior sister, that's all in the past. The thin guy hurriedly explained. You need to teach them a lot. Li Fan said to Wang Xiaoran, you need to discipline your 2 junior brothers. Yes, master. I will definitely make them painfully repent. Wang Xiaoran's mouth revealed a faint smile. The thin guy shivered. The fat guy was already shedding tears of excitement. Damn. Why are you so scared? The thin guy could not help but blame his partner for being disappointing. No. I haven't eaten such delicious dumplings for a long time. The fat guy wiped his tears, his mouth bulging, and said, Master, this is great. I don't want to leave anymore. It's just eating dumplings, look at you. This dumpling is delicious. How could the dumplings made by a star chef taste bad? Li Fan turned his head and continued the previous topic. Say, what kind of drinking game do you want to play? Since we've already said that, why don't we play something more elegant first? Lu Wan suggested, how about everyone write a 5-word poem, with the beginning and the end of the poem. Isn't this making things difficult for the two of us? The thin guy was not happy. Everyone, us brothers only have junior high school education. I also have junior high school education. I didn't say anything. Lu Xiaohu glared at him. Shut up. I have primary school education. Jiang Ye's words made the skinny man speechless. Damn, master, is this a gathering place for the illiterate? These 4 disciples were uncultured. Do you want me to live? A 5-word poem isn't difficult. Everyone just needs to improvise. There's no need to be so rigid. It's just a game anyway. Lu Wanner didn't mean to make things difficult for them, but she just wanted to stir up the atmosphere. Those who can't answer will be punished with a cup of wine. How about it? Because she knew that Li Fan was from the northeast, Imperial Consort Zhou specially asked someone to send a few boxes of Harbin 1900 beer from the northeast. After freezing it for a while, he took it out and tasted it. It was delicious when paired with dumplings. Imperial concubine Zhou also understood Li Fan. She knew that he was only interested in beer. Beer, that's fine. When the skinny man saw that it was beer, he felt more confident. He might not be able to compose poems, but he had no problem with drinking. Let your master start with the questions, then pass them down clockwise. Lu Wanner gently knocked on the bowl. Her eyes fell on Li Fan. Her eyes were as gentle as water. Li Fan, it's your turn. Sure. There are so many beauties today. Then, I will use beauties as the topic. Li Fan smiled. Although he was not a gifted scholar, he could still make up a poem. Beauties fill the hall. Li Fan shook his head and thought of a sentence. Going down clockwise, on Li Fan's left was Murong's love. The little lass thought for a while and came up with a sentence. Imperial concubine's wife. Imperial concubine Zhou was next to her. When she heard this sentence, she smiled sweetly. The wife beheads the foolish husband. On Imperial concubine Zhou's left was the skinny man. The skinny man was anxious and blurted out a sentence. Husband, quickly get on the bed. Everyone laughed. He once again received a solid punch from Wang Xiaoran. Fuck. Am I wrong? Yes, but I just want to hit you. Wang Xiaoran angrily put down her fist. When it was her turn, she wanted to receive the bed. She blushed and thought for a while. 2 pairs of shoes under the bed, senior sister, you're not that good. The skinny man complained, causing Wang Xiaoran to roll her eyes. The fatty really didn't know how to drink. He obediently drank a glass of beer. Jiang Yi sat there. Her posture was not as casual as the others. She was well behaved like a lady from a noble family. When she heard the crooked poem reaching her ears, she immediately froze. 30 seconds to think. Lu Xiaohu hurriedly clapped his hands. If you lose, you have to drink. Jiang Yi couldn't handle alcohol, but it was even more difficult for her to write a poem. For the first time, Jiang Ye's little face turned red. You can't take it anymore, right? You better go to school and learn more. Lu Xiaohu was very proud. Xiaohu, as a senior brother, you can't bully your junior sister like this. Li Fan reminded him. That's right. If you can do it, then do it. Jiang Yi put down the glass, and her face became even redder. Ahem. Well, a double bed is better. What are you talking about? But I've met him, haven't I? Like a pair of lovebirds. A bird's eye view of the 9 heavens. After the dragoness finished, Lu Wan added the last line, and the poem was considered to have ended. Li Fan couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. Good heavens, these 2 people really hit it well. Come, let's continue. The group of people seemed to be having fun and began to continue. Li Fanxiao didn't know what to say, so he drank a cup. After playing for a long time, Jiang Yi couldn't hold it in anymore. Let's play something else. I really can't do this, don't, it's quite interesting. Lu Xiaohu had never lost, and was having fun. Then let's play something else. Lu Wan was exceptionally smart and could tell that Jiang Yi was unhappy. Then let's play a fair game. What game? Li Fan was just having fun and didn't want to make things difficult for anyone. Thus, he followed Lu Wan's words and decided to change to another game. In this game, everyone will ask a question and give an example. If the others meet the criteria, they cannot drink. If they don't, they have to drink. For example, if I say, I am a woman, then all the men present have to drink. Do you understand? Isn't this a Game of Thrones? Li Fan remembered that he seemed to have seen this game somewhere. Yes, you have seen it too. This seems to be quite fun. Lu Wan was in high spirits. Let's play this game. This game, everyone has a chance to win. It's very fair. Okay, then let's play this game. Let me raise my glass first. Li Fan raised his glass. I am not more than 100 years old. Hearing this, Imperial concubine Zhou and the dragoness both glared at him. The two beauties raised their glasses and drank the wine. Wang Xiaoran and the others were a little dumbfounded. Then are they more than 100 years old? Imperial concubine Zhou was a charming and mature woman, while the dragoness was a cute little Lolita. Both of them were more than 100 years old. That's impossible. Secret. The two answered in unison. Next question, it's my turn. Murong also raised her glass. Chapter 1162. Murong's first sentence was, I'm still a virgin. Pooh. Lu Wan directly spurted out the mouthful of juice she just drank. This lass is too bold. Asking this kind of question. These women looked at each other, and finally, Imperial concubine Zhou and Lu Wan raised their glasses at the same time. You want to drink too? Then let's toast. The two beauties awkwardly clinked their glasses. Murong loved to laugh. This girl is too naughty. Li Fan was particularly helpless, and the topic had already shifted to Imperial concubine Zhou. Imperial concubine Zhou picked up her glass and pondered for a moment. I have been an imperial concubine before. Damn. Li Fan almost vomited blood. Damn, among so many people, only Imperial concubine Zhou had been an imperial concubine before. This is too damn unfair. In modern society, it is impossible to be an imperial concubine. The others helplessly raised their glasses, and several apprentices were a little confused. How could she have been an imperial concubine before? Could it be that she had acted before? No matter what, they had never been an imperial concubine before, so they could only obediently raise their glasses and drink. The next one was the skinny man. The skinny man seemed to have already thought of this, and he smiled. I have slept with my own teacher. Everyone was dumbfounded. Who the hell had done this before? The others raised their glasses, except for Li Fan. Li Fan was also in a dilemma. He and Liao Wushuang had indeed slept before. But this sleep depended on which meaning it was. They had never really done it, but sleeping, or sleeping together. But this question had a layer of ambiguity, and he had no choice but to accept his fate. The skinny man gave a thumbs up. Master, you are amazing. Many women angrily looked at Li Fan, and then drank their own wine. Li Fan also wanted to curse. How could he ask this question? But Lu Wan and the others were smart women, so they would not investigate Li Fan thoroughly. My turn. Wang Xiaoran's question was a lot simpler, and it was also exclusive. I finished high school at the age of 16. This was truly unparalleled. Even Lin Yuhsan didn't skip a year and graduated with Li Fan. The others all raised their glasses and drank. Fatty chuckled and raised his glass. I've peeped on my friend and teacher sleeping. Everyone collapsed. Fuck you, why didn't I know about this? The skinny man looked like he wanted to beat someone up. Ah. I couldn't help it. I was fishing at the water bubble when I saw you and teacher diving into the reed field. The fat guy said foolishly, at that time, I thought the teacher was going to beat you up. Just as I was about to help you, I saw you and the teacher with your big white buttocks. All right, all right. The thin man quickly covered his mouth. The other women's faces turned red, and Wang Xiaoran even scolded him for being a pervert. I was imprisoned for 8 years. Jiang Ye's words made everyone kneel down. However, Imperial concubine Zhou only smiled and didn't say anything. These apprentices were all going crazy. Who were these people in this room? They were too fucking scary. How could they have experienced everything? Second senior sister didn't look old. She was imprisoned for 8 years. In other words, she just left the devil's den not long ago. Everyone increasingly felt that this dojo was unfathomable. For this question, Jiang Yi and Imperial concubine Zhou didn't drink. The others drank it in one gulp. I'm wanted by China and homeless. Lu Xiaohu raised his glass. I can't even go home to see. Well, regardless of whether you drink or not, I'll accompany you this glass. This time, even the Northeast duo became listless. The two of them had just joined the underworld and hadn't done anything bad yet. Their first mission was to kill Li Fan, and they failed. A few people present might agree with the other points. However, being wanted by China was something they had never done before. Imperial concubine Zhou also thought about it and put down her glass. Next was Dragon Girl. She raised her glass and casually said, I haven't killed anyone. Dragon Girl had lived for thousands of years, but she really hadn't killed anyone. Although she didn't care about other people's lives, she wouldn't take the initiative to deprive others of their right to live. She didn't use her lifespan to win others. It was probably because she didn't like people saying she was old. Li Fan raised his glass. Not only him, but Imperial concubine Zhou, Murong, Jiang Yi, and Lu Xiaohu also followed suit. A few apprentices trembled. Master and senior brothers. Have they all killed people before? This question of yours has really stumped me. Li Fan smiled bitterly. Then should my next question say, I'm the 10,000 killer? Plop. The thin man directly sat on empty air and fell to the ground. I'm joking. Li Fan made up a lie. After all, the thin man and the others were just ordinary people and didn't know the evil of the martial arts world. Li Fan suddenly faintly felt that China's ban on martial arts seemed to be quite reasonable. Master, you scared me to death. The thin man was helped up by the fat man and sat back down. Aren't you known as the Northeast Killer King? How could you be scared by such a thing? I was just bragging a little. The thin man slightly blushed, killing 1 or 2. I might barely do it. Killing so many. I really didn't think about it. Killing 1 person makes you a bandit, killing 10,000 makes you a general, killing 1 million makes you a king. A light flashed in Li Fan's eyes. What do you think? Don't joke around. Lu Wan gently patted Li Fan's hand. Didn't you want to teach them well? Why did you mention this? Ah, sorry, I was just joking, just joking. Li Fan didn't know why, but such a thought flashed in his mind. Don't take it seriously. Your master loves to joke like this. If he was really a bloodthirsty person, the two of you who wanted to kill him would already be dead. Lu Wan's words, not knowing if it was a comfort or a threat, made the fat and thin duo even more afraid. Hee hee, 2 cowards. Murong loved to laugh at them. Who is a coward? The thin man said, but first drank a mouthful of wine to give himself courage. It's my turn. Lu Wan thought for a moment, and finally boldly said, I have slept with Li Fan. Puff. This time it was Murong's turn to love to spray juice. Revenge. This was definitely revenge. Among the women present, only Wang Xiaoran and Dragon Girl raised their wine glasses. Oh my god, Jiang Yi, when I was sick, Master accompanied me to sleep on the bed. Does that count as having slept with him? Jiang Yi asked eloquently. Lu Wan was stunned. It seemed like it could be counted literally. Li Fan was overjoyed. This time, there was another loophole in the words. The Chinese language was really broad and profound. What do you think of Li Fan's martial arts? Imperial concubine Zhou held her wine glass and asked Lu Wan, Not bad, but he doesn't like foreplay. He especially hates it. Later I'll teach him well. Okay, let's work hard together. The two women actually shared Li Fan in such a dignified manner. Chapter 1163. Even the thick-skinned Li Fan was somewhat flushed. These two girls, in front of so many disciples, it was too much. The fat and thin duo were envious. Master was too powerful. He had actually slept with two such beautiful girls. Sure enough, practicing martial arts was still very important. Everyone played 2 more rounds. They were a little excited and drank a lot. When the clock struck 12 o'clock, many people were drunk. The thin man had already fainted under the table. Although his alcohol tolerance was high, he drank too much this time. Without internal force to protect his body, he definitely couldn't drink as much as Li Fan and the others. The fat man was in a good state. He didn't drink too much, but he was busy snatching food from Dragon Girl. Imperial concubine Zhou and Lu Wan also drank a lot. The two women sat together and were discussing how to train Li Fan. Li Fan also ate and drank to his heart's content. He was sitting there, a little tipsy, and his eyes were a little hazy. Today, he drank a lot of wine, and Li Fan didn't use his internal force to dissolve the wine. For him, getting drunk once in a while was also good. Didn't the ancients say that only Dukong could solve one's worries? And Murong was lying on Li Fan's lap, sleeping soundly. This little girl drank a lot tonight. She probably wanted to drink more to reduce her worries. This Murong Bo, he didn't know how much he hated him in his heart. But Li Fan didn't have the slightest bit of sympathy for him. This was Murong Bo's own fault. Later, he would find a chance to marry Murong Ying and let Murong Bo break up his family. Li Fan couldn't help but laugh. He seemed to have already imagined the scene of him hugging two beauties. At this time, Imperial concubine Zhou stood behind Li Fan and directly picked him up. Murong Bo fell to the ground, but she was still sleeping soundly. She didn't know what happened at all. What? Li Fan asked drunkenly. Fuck you. Imperial concubine Zhou said as she picked up Li Fan and brought him to a small room on the side. As soon as she brought Li Fan in, Lu Wanner followed behind and closed the door. Li Fan was a little stunned as he looked at the two women in front of him. What do you want? Didn't I tell you everything? Imperial concubine Zhou pressed Li Fan down on the bed. Lu Wan also walked towards him with a drunken smile. What did that mean? 1 king and 2 empresses. You're lucky tonight. Imperial concubine Zhou licked her lips. 2 or more people are considered promiscuous. If you're arrested, you'll get a heavy sentence. Li Fan said. Whatever. Without any explanation, the two women pushed Li Fan down. Jiang Yi was a little tipsy. She leaned against the door of Li Fan's room and listened to the moans inside. She was drowsy and wanted to sleep. It was already a mess outside. This New Year's Eve was indeed a little happy. When Li Fan woke up, it was already early the next morning. 2 women were lying on the bed, sleeping soundly. Li Fan tiptoed and didn't wake them up. He put on his clothes and pushed the door to go out. Outside, everything had been tidied up. Jiang Yi was teaching 3 apprentices. The first lesson for these 3 people was nothing else but horse stance and qi training. Seeing Li Fan coming out, Jiang Yi hurriedly bowed to Li Fan. Master, Happy New Year. Well, you guys are practicing. Li Fan displayed his ability to be thick-skinned, pretending that nothing had happened and greeted the apprentices. Where's Xiaohu? He went out to challenge the dojo. Oh, right, only then did Li Fan remember that he told Xiaohu to go out and challenge 3 dojos every day. the Hefeng dojo across the street. Tell him not to. Li Fan told Jiang Yi to call Xiaohu. Don't worry, I told him before we went out. Jiang Yi knew her master's thoughts. As long as he has a bit of IQ, he shouldn't go to challenge the Hefeng dojo. Well, that's good. Fortunately, you are here. Wang Xiaoran didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Her own dojo was challenged just like that. Who told them to have the ability to do so? She also had to work hard and become as strong as her master. However, Qi training was really boring. She also had to keep squatting. Don't get distracted. Jiang Yi lightly knocked on Wang Xiaoran's head. Focus on Qi training. Wang Xiaoran didn't dare to say anything. She cleared her mind and obediently continued to practice Qi. According to her master, she could clearly feel a small ball of Qi in her dantian that was spinning. If she succeeded, this ball of Qi should be able to slowly become stronger. Master, there seems to be someone outside. Jiang Yi seemed to have heard something and looked outside the door. It's the new year, who could come? Li Fan signaled Jiang Yi to open the door. The dojo's door opened. The person outside was none other than Li Fan's sworn brother, Jin Zhou. Jin Zhou brought a few escorts and walked in. He even brought a greeting gift. Big brother. Li Fan was a little surprised and hurried forward to welcome him. Why are you here? What are you talking about? Why can't I come? Jin Zhou laughed and patted Li Fan's shoulder. It's the new year, so I have to come and pay my respects to our golden escort. What golden escort? How can there be such a title now? Li Fan pulled Jin Zhou into the house and sat down. Moreover, a year has passed. I have also voluntarily retired. What retire? If it wasn't for you, the current escort business would have already collapsed. In everyone's heart, you are fully deserving of the title of golden escort. That's too kind of me. Li Fan repeatedly waved his hand, feeling a little guilty. If he was a little stronger, the current martial arts world would not have become like this. Speaking of which, it was because he was not strong enough. Li Fan felt very regretful. Nowadays, it was difficult to move forward in the martial arts world. Their escort agency also relied on a little support from the government to barely survive. No matter what, we still have to rely on third brother. Jin Zhou cupped his fist. I hope that third brother will put in more effort in the new year. I will do my best, big brother can rest assured. Li Fan waved his hand and ordered the thin man to get the wine. Since big brother is here, let's not talk about anything else, let's float a big white. Good, good, good. Do you have any good wine here? How about 1900? You're kidding me, haha, here are 2 bottles of good Luzhou Laojiao. Try it. Li Fan laughed. He still had some good wine here. Good, good. Today I will drink a few more cups with you, little brother. Well, by the way, how's the escort agency recently? Li Fan talked about serious matters. Fortunately, we are now using the underground route, so the security work has been very good. Moreover, your relationship with the higher-ups is more lenient with our policies. In this way, in a few years, the escort agency will slowly go on the right track, and we won't have to worry too much. Well, no matter what, we have to persevere. Li Fan thought of the days when he was an escort. One day, we will return to the public. Chapter 1164. After Jin Zhou left, even Wang Dali from Harmony Martial Arts School came over to pay his New Year greetings. Li Fan knew that this guy had an ulterior motive. He was here to see his daughter. Putting Li Fan aside, let's talk about Lu Xiaohu. He didn't drink too much yesterday, so he was quite refreshed after sleeping. There were quite a few martial arts schools on this street. Lu Xiaohu glanced at the Wind Martial Arts School opposite him and suppressed the desire in his heart. It was his junior sister's martial arts school after all. It was better to let them go. He turned around and saw the Prestige Martial Arts School on the other side of the street. Lu Xiaohu thought about it. It seemed to be the martial arts school of the bald man in red, where they practiced iron wire punch. This iron wire punch was created by Iron Bridge San and was very powerful. Back then, Lu Xiaohu was obsessed with Shi Xiaolong's TV series. In the end, he even stole his mother's bracelet, wore it on his wrist, and practiced for a while. The result was that he was hung up and beaten by his mother for 3 days. Thinking about it now, Lu Xiaohu could not help but laugh at himself. He was really a child back then. The martial arts school was already open on the first day of the new year. For the martial arts world, the new year and the first day of the new year were times to welcome guests. At the entrance of the prestige martial arts school, the bald man in red was welcoming guests with a smile on his face. But when his gaze fell on Lu Xiaohu, he immediately looked away. The bald man's mouth twitched slightly. Why are you here? Happy New Year, I'm here to challenge the school. Lu Xiaohu extended his hand and greeted him enthusiastically. Since it was a challenge, what was there to be happy about? Sorry, our dojo master is not here, so we can't challenge the school. The bald man in red seemed to want to reject Lu Xiaohu, but Lu Xiaohu was not stupid. I heard you say to those people that the dojo master is waiting for them inside. Bro, you need to have some skill in lying. Damn, the bald man in red pointed at Lu Xiaohu. You're too mean. What, you don't dare to let me challenge the school? Lu Xiaohu laughed. As long as you see me in the future, call me grandpa, and I will let you go, how about it? This bunch of guys came to their dojo to meditate and cause trouble. Now that their dojo was destroyed, they were terrified. Lu Xiaohu was extremely unhappy. If he didn't get his revenge this time, he wouldn't be called Lu Xiaohu. This is too much. Bah, shameless. You were the ones who bullied us, but now you're blaming us instead. Lu Xiaohu was angry and wanted to laugh at the same time. Your martial arts school, young master will definitely kick it out today. As he spoke, he shouted, Lu Xiaohu, the chief disciple of the Seven Heroes Martial Arts School, is here to challenge the school. Please enlighten me. Even the people in the dojo could hear him. The guests all came out to watch the show. Challenging a dojo was something that every dojo would experience. However, this was the first time they came to challenge the dojo during the new year. Lu Xiaohu was pleased to see everyone's surprised expressions. This was exactly the effect he wanted. He wanted to let these people know that the Seven Heroes Martial Arts School was not a pushover. Lu Xiaohu ignored the bald man in red and went straight into the dojo. He wanted to see what the owner looked like first. Inside the dojo, there was also a group of people watching the show. All of them gathered together, waiting to see the challenge. Especially since Lu Xiaohu was so young and a member of the Seven Heroes Martial Arts School, it was really worth watching. A white-faced old man in a red robe stood in the middle of the dojo, looking at Lu Xiaohu in front of him. Kid, you're young, but you're quite brave. The old man let out a long sigh. I really don't want to bully you. Take a red packet and go back. Everyone praised him. Elder Lu is really generous. He's indeed the leader of the martial arts world. This kid is overestimating himself. Lu Xiaohu was a little restless when he heard these people talking about him. The old man was proud. He was still young after all. Just the surrounding people's comments were enough to make him lose his cool. The most taboo thing in a fight was to be impatient. Cut the crap. Who wants your red packet? Let's fight. Lu Xiaohu was getting more and more irritated by the crowd's condemnation. You don't dare to fight, old man. Since the kid wants to fight, that's fine too. The old man stroked his beard and looked at Lu Xiaohu, his eyes shining. However, I'm still a martial arts senior. It's really embarrassing to bully a junior like you. How about this, according to the rules of the martial arts world, you have to defeat my disciples first. If you can defeat all of them, then I'll give you a chance to fight with me. How about that? Sure. Lu Xiaohu did not refuse. The old man was overjoyed. Okay, let's begin. Disciples, get ready to fight. Under the old man's command, 18 young disciples walked out from both sides and stood in front of Lu Xiaohu. Ha, a human wave tactic. Lu Xiaohu did not care at all. Good, this is interesting. Who's first? He lowered his body slightly and got into the stance of the Tiger Strike technique. 7 Heroes Sect, Tiger Strike technique. Lu Xiaohu is here to learn. Kid, you're too arrogant. A disciple had already put on a steel ring and was about to throw an iron fist at Lu Xiaohu. However, Lu Xiaohu moved to the side and avoided his fist. At the same time, a claw was already on his throat, directly suffocating the martial master. After the battle with Jiang Yi, Lu Xiaohu had benefited a lot. He realized that among all the martial arts in the world, only speed was unbeatable. Although he did not use his true energy, the people present still could not see how he made his move. Everyone only saw a blur before Lu Xiaohu threw an unconscious disciple to the side. Next. Hurry up, young master is in a hurry today. Although Li Fan had reminded Lu Xiaohu to be humble. However, the instant victory made him a little arrogant. The surroundings were dead silent. Everyone could not believe their eyes. This was an instant kill in one move. Did you see how that kid made his move? I didn't see it clearly, it was too fast. That's too abnormal. Everyone looked at Lu Xiaohu as if they were looking at a monster. It's just a coincidence. Let me see how good your martial arts are. Another disciple rushed forward from the side. His martial arts in the martial arts school was also quite high, basically ranked in the top 5. He aimed an iron fist at Lu Xiaohu's ribs. However, Lu Xiaohu was faster. He had completely integrated the tiger strike into his body. With a tiger claw, he was one step ahead of the other party's forehead. Then, he pressed down and kicked the other party's head with his knee. The guy immediately fainted and lost consciousness. Next. Lu Xiaohu was as relaxed as eating a bun, but the people in the martial arts school were nervous. Chapter 1165. To Lu Xiaohu, he did not know what modesty meant. 10 minutes later, the 10th disciple was lying on the ground. Lu Xiaohu clapped his hands and asked, anyone else? Everyone, let's go. The remaining 8 could not hold it in any longer. Who cares about the rules? Let's just go. Don't hurt this little kid. The old man pretended to say. But in the blink of an eye, his 8 aggressive disciples were directly knocked to the ground by Lu Xiaohu. Lu Xiaohu's movements were extremely fast. Knocking down a few disciples was like cutting melons and vegetables, like a tiger in a flock of sheep. The old man was dumbfounded. Master, it's your turn, right? Lu Xiaohu gestured for the old man to go first. Elder Lu, this kid is a little wild, you have to go first. Yeah, Elder Lu, teach this kid a lesson. The crowd cheered, as if they wanted to see Elder Lu defeat Lu Xiaohu. Lu Xiaohu thought to himself, damn it, am I that unpopular? Who cares, they're a bunch of retards. If that's the case, I can only do it myself today. The old man stretched out his hands, and disciples immediately came over from both sides, respectfully rolled up the old man's sleeves, and then put on 2 rows of steel rings. Fists and feet have no eyes, kid, please be careful. The old man put on the steel rings, but was not in a hurry to make a move. Instead, he looked at Lu Xiaohu quietly. Kid, why don't you make the first move? Sure, here I come. Lu Xiaohu suddenly leaped forward, and in the blink of an eye, he was in front of the old man. The old man had not reacted yet. Although he was surprised, he was a veteran grandmaster of combat after all, so he was relatively calm. Almost subconsciously, he swung both his fists forward, and directly launched a pincer attack at Lu Xiaohu. However, Lu Xiaohu lowered his body, almost sticking to the ground, and directly grabbed the old man's ankle, trying to flip him to the ground. The old man was shocked, and he steadied his lower body to avoid making a fool of himself. Lu Xiaohu's attack did not succeed, but he continued to attack fiercely, like a ferocious tiger. Although he did not use his inner force, his tiger strike art was unstoppable. Using speed to fight slow, it directly disrupted the old man's rhythm, causing him to retreat step by step. The old man's expression became more and more unsightly. He was famous and had many admirers, but today, he was actually beaten into a mess by a little brat. The old man became more and more flustered and anxious to suppress Lu Xiaohu. But Lu Xiaohu's attack was flawless, so fast that he had no time to defend. Very quickly, he was beaten until he revealed a big flaw. Then, Lu Xiaohu directly clawed at his face and pressed him to the ground. Master! Master! Elder Lu! Everyone was dumbfounded when they saw the old man being knocked to the ground in just a few moves. This was too illogical. This little brat was actually so powerful. Just how did he train his lightning-fast tiger form fist? Everyone, don't blame the young master for being impolite. Lu Xiaohu still remembered the time when they came to bully the dojo together. At such a young age, Lu Xiaohu had a strong sense of justice and a strong desire for revenge. The current him was very much like the previous Li Fan, with a kind of arrogance in his bones. But the current Li Fan, after experiencing so many hardships, had become more reserved, with hidden sharpness. As Lu Xiaohu spoke, he leaped up to a height of more than 2 meters, then hung upside down and kicked the plaque hanging above his head into 2 halves. The old man had just been helped up, but this time, he fell to the ground again. This time, the dojo really had no face left. Stop! You want to leave after fighting? The bald man in red grabbed Lu Xiaohu, who was about to leave, and a group of disciples surrounded him. What? You can't win, so you're throwing sand? Lu Xiaohu laughed. Alright, then I'll play with you guys. As he spoke, Lu Xiaohu leaped forward and instantly rushed into the crowd. His hands were like iron claws, every time he pinched a disciple's neck, they would faint. In the blink of an eye, Lu Xiaohu was surrounded by people, all of whom had lost the ability to fight. The bald man in red was kicked out of the door by Lu Xiaohu. Don't block the young master still has 2 dojos to challenge today. As he spoke, Lu Xiaohu turned around and walked away. No one dared to stop him again. The old man looked at the 2 halves of the dojo plaque on the ground and fainted from anger. On this day, Li Fan received a few guests who came to visit for the new year, most of whom were business friends. In the evening, Lu Xiaohu also came back in high spirits. It seemed that he had returned triumphantly. Master, I've challenged 3 dojos today. What took you so long? Jiang Yi looked at the time. You went out in the morning and only came back now. Don't tell me you went somewhere to fool around. How could that be? Lu Xiaohu hurriedly explained. When I came back, I saw someone selling something called fried chicken and said it was very delicious. I wanted to show my filial respect to master, so I went to line up. As Lu Xiaohu spoke, he lifted the bag in his hand. Here, see for yourselves. Dragon Girl was watching TV at the side. As soon as she heard there was delicious food, she went up and took it away without hesitation. But it shouldn't have taken so long. Jiang Yi was still a little doubtful. He must have gone somewhere to fool around. I swear to God. There are so many people lining up. Lu Xiaohu cried out in grievance. Is it the pearl fried chicken in the east? At this time, Wang Xiaoran spoke. Yes, that's the one. Lu Xiaohu nodded repeatedly. That's right. Wang Xiaoran explained for Lu Xiaohu. Second senior sister, senior brother really didn't go there to fool around. That pearl fried chicken is very popular, especially at this time of the new year. There are 2 streets of queues. So many people, how greedy are they? Wang Xiaoran was born and raised in City Ji. Since she said so, it should not be wrong. Jiang Yi curled his lips. He felt that the foodie was a little too strong. Thank you, Xiaohu. Li Fan patted Lu Xiaohu's shoulder. Master is very happy that you can still think of master when you go out. Jiang Yi seemed to be a little jealous. Master, why don't I go and challenge the dojo tomorrow? It's not the right time yet. Li Fan hurriedly comforted his second disciple. Your identity must be kept secret. It's not suitable for you to go out. But isn't senior brother also a wanted criminal? How can he go out? The one who put him on the wanted list is Long Qingyun. Now that Long Qingyun has been killed, as long as he doesn't show his superpower, no one will pay attention to him. Moreover, letting him be in the limelight is to tell others that he is a martial artist, not a mutant. That's right. Moreover, I am our chief disciple. Lu Xiaohu's tail was about to reach the sky. Naturally, I should go and challenge the dojo. Master, don't mention how glorious we are today. Well, if that's the case, before Li Fan finished his words, a person suddenly jumped in from the side window. Chapter 1166. Fuck you. Who's that? The skinny guy's voice resounded. I just fucking kicked the floor. Are you a thief? Give me, ouch. The skinny guy screamed. Li Fan and the rest quickly went over to take a look. A figure in a sports shirt was squatting there with one hand on the skinny guy's throat. It looked like he could kill him at any moment. Although the figure's head was covered with a hoodie, Li Fan could tell that it was a girl's figure. She was very slender and curvaceous. Judging from her aura, she should be someone he knew. Jin Kumo. Why are you here? Li Fan placed a hand on her shoulder. Relax. He's one of us. I'm an outer disciple. Li Fan's hand seemed to carry a special power that made Jin Kumo's body go limp. She lost all her strength and let go of the skinny guy. The skinny guy was so scared that he rolled on the ground and ran behind Li Fan. What kind of demonic technique did you use? Jin Kumo's body went limp. She looked at Li Fan in front of her. Her eyes were filled with unwillingness, but there was also a sense of wronged beauty. Her body felt swollen and numb. She couldn't exert any strength. At that moment, Li Fan suddenly felt a demon in his heart. This girl is quite beautiful. Night Rain Tower can't use his legs now. Should I take care of Jin Kumo for him? Pfft, Li Fan, what nonsense are you thinking about all day long? Li Fan sorted out his thoughts and explained. It's not demonic technique. I just sealed your acupoints with elemental energy. Li Fan explained and withdrew his elemental energy from Jin Kumo's body. Jin Kumo recovered and looked at Li Fan with a strange gaze. You're becoming more and more like a monster. You're overestimating me. Li Fan smiled modestly. In terms of monsters, compared to the two of them, I can't even be ranked. Imperial concubine Zhou was playing the zither while Dragon Lady was gnawing on a roasted chicken. The two of them displayed their elegance and vulgarity. Gang Zi, are you okay? Li Fan used his yuan qi to check the skinny man's body. Fortunately, there were only some flesh wounds. I'm fine, master. It's just that my butt hurt a little. The skinny man stood there bitterly. Even if he had something to say, he wouldn't dare to say it. How did his master know so many women? Jin Kumeo, why are you here? What, am I not welcome here? Jin Hisao looked at Li Fan in displeasure. That's not it. I'm just curious. It's the new year. Shouldn't you be spending the new year at Yijian? Do you think I don't want to? Jin Jioma was unhappy. It's all because the Alliance Master asked me to come over and wish you a happy new year. So that's how it is. Alliance Chief Luo is very considerate. Li Fan waved his hand and asked Jiang Yi to take out a box. This box contains the Tian Luo pill, a new product refined by Medicine King Valley's disciple, Luo Xiaofeng. Li Fan explained, taking this Tian Luo pill can increase the strength of a martial artist by 1 dragon. So godly. Jin Jioma didn't seem to believe it. Of course, Luo Xiaofeng almost went crazy in order to refine this pill. Li Fan laughed heartily. But the heavens do not disappoint those who work hard. He finally refined it. Then wouldn't he be invincible if he just ate this thing? Dream on. Using medicine as a supplement is still a bad idea. Li Fan reminded Jin Jiuma, this Tian Luo pill can only be taken once in a lifetime. There won't be any effect if you eat more. Moreover, the ingredients for this Tian Luo pill are very hard to find. The cost of one pill is over 1 million. Only 1 million? To an expert, how could 1 million be considered money? She already understood the value of the Tian Luo pill. This thing was used to break through. For example, after cultivating the strength of 9 dragons, eating one pill would allow one to enter the strength of 10 dragons and break through to the realm of a grandmaster. This pill's value was at least over 100 million. Li Fan was really generous. Yi Jian had indeed brought a gift, but it was just a snow lotus. Although it was worth some money, it was not as valuable as the Tian Luo pill. Please help me pass it to Alliance Chief Luo. Happy New Year to everyone. Many thanks. Even if Jin Jiuma was not willing, he still had to thank Li Fan. Don't mention it. No matter what, I am still a protector of Yi Jian. How are Alliance Chief Luo and the rest? Fortunately, we are hiding in a safe place and fighting with the royal army. Jin Jiuma said, right now, the royal army is chasing us very closely. A while ago, Long Feng Yu's place was destroyed by them. Whistling West Wind? Are they finished? No, Fatty Long ran away. Jin Jiuma shrugged, but we lost a general and a protector. That's really tragic. Although Li Fan said this, he did not care in his heart. Whistling West Wind had nothing to do with him. Fatty Long was said to be an ambitious person and should be able to live for a long time. I heard that Fatty Long also sent people to look for you. Jin Jiuma reminded Li Fan, I think he wants to rope you in. We'll talk about his matter later. You came here covered in dust. Take a rest, take a bath, and eat something. Li Fan said with a chuckle, if I neglect you, your alliance chief will say that I don't treat my guest well. Alright, I'll rest for a day. I'll go back tomorrow. Jin Jiuma stretched, looking extremely flirtatious. Even Li Fan was a little stunned. Jiang Yi, go and arrange a room for Heavenly King Jin. Li Fan ordered. Yes, master. Jiang Yi agreed, and then led Jin Kumeo to her room. The sky gradually turned dark. Lu Wan was still working overtime at the company and had not returned yet. Murong, who loved to sleep in, had also woken up and was playing games with Dragon Girl. Under Li Fan's guidance, the two of them had recently become addicted to LOL and were playing happily. Li Fan, come and play with me. Xiao Ai was naturally intelligent and played very well. She was much better than her sister. She shouted at Li Fan, we lack a strong support. You two play first. It's fine if Xiao Hu accompany you. Isn't he bringing an apprentice? Come quickly. Li Fan always felt that Murong's words had a hidden meaning, but he deliberately pretended not to understand. Xiao Wan should be back soon. I'll go to the company to pick her up. Li Fan also wanted to go out for a stroll, but just as he was about to walk out, he immediately retracted his leg. These few days, Imperial concubine Zhou handed over the club to others to manage and stayed at Li Fan's place every day. She also sensed that something was wrong. She raised her head and glanced at Li Fan. Do you still have so many guests? Of course not. Li Fan walked back and sat on the armchair. Everyone, prepare to receive the guests. Yes. Lu Xiaohu was the first to react. He ordered the 3 apprentices to stand together with Dragon Girl to avoid being implicated. Chapter 1167. A group of men in black suits silently approached the 7 Heroes Martial Arts School under the cover of the night. Li Fan sat on an armchair, facing the door. Lu Xiaohu exercised his muscles and bones, looking a little excited. Jiang Yi walked out silently and put on a mask to cover her face. Her identity still needed to be kept a secret. At this time, Jiang Yi was holding Li Fan's extraordinary sword and stood on Li Fan's left side, as still as a statue. The other 3 apprentices didn't dare to make a sound and stood beside Dragon Girl and the others. They didn't know what was going to happen, but they felt that the atmosphere had suddenly become a little stifling. Imperial concubine Zhou sat on the right side of Li Fan. This imperial concubine was still wearing a clean and beautiful Han dress. She looked dignified and elegant, with the attitude of a motherly model of the world. Everyone, pay attention. Don't neglect the guests. Li Fan reminded them and leisurely took a sip of tea. It wasn't a good tea, just barley tea. It was warm and fragrant, and Li Fan liked it very much. As for flower tea, green tea, or black tea, he didn't know much about it. Bang! The door of the martial arts school was suddenly kicked open, and a group of men in black rushed into the Seven Heroes Martial Arts School. The man in the lead was wearing a white suit, and Li Fan couldn't help but think of Yan Kai in the past. The first time they met, he was wearing a narcissistic white suit and was beaten up by him. However, the suits that these people were wearing were obviously uniforms. The man in the black suit had a conscription logo on his chest, and the man in the white suit had a cannon logo on his chest. Li Fan once inquired about some information and said that the Imperial Army was ranked according to Chinese chess. Among them, the highest rank was general. Next was sergeant, followed by minister, horse, chariot, cannon, and soldier. The person in front of him should be an officer of the cannon rank. He was wearing a white suit with a sword hanging on his waist. The sword was made by the Imperial Army, and it had the mark of the Imperial Army. Everyone, are you here in the middle of the night to wish me a happy new year? Li Fan looked at the 20 or so ferocious thugs that barged in, smiled, and then ordered Jiang Yi. Lil Yi, go get some red envelopes and give them some. Don't forget the etiquette of our dojo. Yes. Jiang Yi said this, but his feet didn't move. After all, his master was just saying it. Red packet? The cannoneer sneered, are you trying to bribe me? Official? Li Fan asked calmly, may I ask what official position you hold? A cannoneer of the Royal Army. Di Wuliang. The officer said arrogantly, are you still not going to kneel after seeing this official? Idiot, who do you think you are to make my master kneel to you? Lu Xiaohu immediately scolded. At the same time, all the black-suited men pulled out their swords from their waists and aimed them at Lu Xiaohu. How could Lu Xiaohu be afraid of them? He glared at them and opened his hands, making tiger claws. He was ready to pounce on them at any time. Xiaohu. Li Fan stopped Lu Xiaohu. You don't know the rules. Lu Xiaohu obediently retreated to the side. How could he disobey his master's order? Hee, as expected of the little overlord. Impressive. Di Wuliang clapped his hands lightly, but his eyes were full of mockery. You can even challenge the Royal Army, that's really amazing. It seems that you're here to make trouble. Li Fan slowly put down the teacup. Cut the crap, Li Fan, don't think that the Royal Army won't dare to touch you just because you have a background. We've found out that you're harboring a suspect here. Hand over the suspect immediately, or you know the consequences. Now this is interesting. Li Fan knocked his legs and looked at the cannoneer Di Wuliang in front of him. In this room, besides you, the rest are my, Li Fan's, friends. I want to know, who is the suspect you're talking about? Are you pretending to be stupid? Di Wuliang sneered, criminal organization Yijian Shaoqing Feng, criminal Jin Jiuma. She's hiding in your place. My men have been following her for a long time, and this time I've caught them red-handed. Oh, Jin Jiuma, seems to be Yi Jian's man, I've heard of him. Li Fan looked at Di Wuliang in surprise, but I'm not familiar with her, why would I be harboring her? Don't play dumb with me. Search for me. Di Wuliang waved his hand, and the surrounding men in black suits were about to search the room. Who dares? Lu Xiaohu let out a roar, causing the men in black suits to sway a little. Lu Xiaohu's true qi was not to be underestimated. Li Fan, what's the meaning of this? You want to go against the Royal Army? Di Wuliang reprimanded, harboring a suspect, even if there's someone backing you up, they can't protect you. The higher-ups have decreed that all criminal organizations must be severely punished. What does that have to do with me? Li Fan did not have the slightest intention of backing down. If you want to search my dojo, then show me the court's warrant. Li Fan, I think you're refusing a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Is that so? Li Fan crossed his legs and placed both of his hands on them. When did you guys give me a toast? Let's hear it. Don't care about him, search for me. Di Wuliang began to act tough. He waved his hand, and the men in black suits behind him ran into the dojo, preparing to turn this place upside down. Imperial concubine Zhou did not intervene. She knew that since Li Fan was here, he would definitely deal with it himself. Li Fan sat there with a bit of anger on his face. At the same time, he extended his hand. A powerful force pressed down on everyone. All the men in black suits were half kneeling on the ground, their bodies unable to move. Di Wuliang struggled to stand on the ground, his brows tightly wrinkled. Such a strong internal energy. Just by relying on internal energy, he was able to suppress everyone. When Di Wuliang heard that this little tyrant had successfully cultivated the so-called elemental energy, he did not take it to heart and treated it as a rumor. But today, he felt that it was not a rumor. Li Fan. What are you trying to do? I am an officer of the Imperial Army. I am your grandfather. Li Fan waved his hand, and Di Wuliang's body flew out, heavily hitting the wall behind him, hanging there. Why don't you take a look at where you are? You actually dare to come here and behave atrociously. You really have guts. Li Fan's face was as calm as water. I am China's Shangfang sword. Not to mention a small artillery officer like you, even if it's your Imperial Army's commander, I can still behead him. Di Wuliang was speechless. The name Shangfang sword does have some weight. Today is the first day of the new year, I don't want my dojo to see blood. I will give you 10 seconds, scram. Li Fan. Just you wait. Di Wuliang could only lead his men back resentfully. Before he left, he did not forget to leave behind some ruthless words, this matter is not over. Chapter 1168. The next morning, when Lu Xiaohu got dressed and came out of the martial arts school, he found that the Seven Heroes Martial Arts School was surrounded by 3 layers of people. A group of Imperial guards in black suits stood guard here like bodyguards of the Seven Heroes Martial Arts School. What the fuck, what are you doing? Lu Xiaohu was furious. What was the meaning of this? Were they playing a game with them? Hee, we suspect that there is a suspect hiding here. In order to prevent the suspect from escaping, we are guarding here. Di Wuliang stood at the door, looked at the angry Lu Xiaohu, and sneered. What, we didn't enter your house, and we didn't affect your business. Look, isn't the position at the door reserved? Are you afraid that we will guard here because you are hiding a suspect? Bullshit, calling us a suspect every time. How annoying. Although Lu Xiaohu had a bad temper, he was not stupid. He rolled his eyes and put on his hoodie. Do whatever you want, it's none of my business. Goodbye. Lu Xiaohu still had to challenge the martial arts school, so he turned around and left. Jin Jiuma, I don't believe you won't come out. Di Wuliang crossed his arms and stood guard at the door, waiting for his prey. For 3 days in a row, the Imperial Guards surrounded the door of the martial arts school and had no intention of leaving. Li Fan also ordered not to have any conflict with the Imperial Guards. Therefore, everyone did what they were supposed to do. Lu Xiaohu went to challenge martial arts schools as usual, the apprentices practiced as usual, and Lil Wan went to work as usual. With the protection of the Shangfang sword, the Imperial Guards could only surround the place and did not dare to act rashly. The Imperial Guards did not affect Li Fan, so he could not fight with them. On the 5th day of the Lunar New Year, Li Fan took advantage of the good weather and went to the yard with the people from the martial arts school to have barbecue. Li Fan specially bought a stove, put charcoal on the fire, and then took the meat that had been cooked and barbecued on the stove. Dragon Girl sat by the side, drooling, and looked at Li Fan's barbecue like a little pet waiting to be fed. Meanwhile, Murong loved to stay close to Dragon Girl. The two little girls had a very good relationship and stuck together every day. Imperial concubine Zhou was sitting at the side. She was wearing a Bluetooth headset and was talking to her people on the phone. She seemed to be instructing them about work. Nowadays, Imperial concubine Zhou rarely went to dream of the Ming dynasty. As a result, her business was handed over to her subordinates. Fortunately, the dream of the Ming dynasty was already on the right track. There were both open and hidden ones, and the monthly income was extremely high. They had given the government a lot of GDP and private benefits, so even the local government of City G had given the green light to the Ming dynasty's dream. Naturally, the three apprentices also had the opportunity to eat. The three of them stood in the courtyard and followed Jiang Ye's instructions, squatting while waiting for the food. In the past few days, the chef of the dojo had also taken a break, so the food was prepared by Li Fan himself, and the taste was quite popular with everyone. Therefore, the three apprentices were simply in high spirits. Although training was a little tough, they did not have to worry about food and drink. Come, come, come. Everyone can eat the barbecue. Jiang Yi, help the three of them carry some over. Li Fan barbecued the meat until it was golden and tender, and the heat was just right. Jiang Yi walked over first, put some barbecued meat on a small plate, and brought it to the apprentices who were squatting next to her. Dragon Girl and Murong came over and began to fight for the barbecue. Li Fan personally carried some to Imperial concubine Zhou. Di Wuliang and the others stood in the cold wind, drooling as they watched them eat the barbecued meat with relish. Di Wuliang was so angry that his nose almost became crooked. This Li Fan was really too much. He definitely did it on purpose. Di Wuliang and his brothers could only eat the box lunch every day, and they were getting tired of it. They didn't even know how many kinds of side dishes they had to eat. They must complain to the department about the food. What the fuck? This barbecue looked very delicious. In the next few days, Li Fan seemed to have fallen in love with the feeling of having a picnic. Every day at noon, he brought a group of people from the dojo to the courtyard to have a meal. In addition to barbecued meat, there was also hot pot, French food, Japanese food. In short, there were all kinds of things that made the brothers from the royal army suffer. However, Di Wuliang and the others could only curse in their hearts, fuck, fuck. However, there was also good news. After Di Wuliang's complaints, they could finally add a braised egg to their lunch boxes. Li Fan was calm, but Jin Kumo was a little restless. A few days later, after dinner, Li Fan picked up Lu Wan, and went home. He saw that Jin Kumo had already changed into a black outfit and was about to leave. Where are you going? Li Fan stopped her. I can't sit here and wait for death. I have to return to Yi Jian. Jin Kumo said without hesitation, Yi Jian needs me. Heavenly King Jin, then you should also look at the current situation, right? The dojo is surrounded like an iron bucket, and you will be caught the moment you go out. Just stay here for a few days, and I will naturally think of a way to send you out. Stay here for a few days. Jin Kumo pointed outside. Those royal army are like your bodyguards, camping outside and not leaving. You have to be prepared for a long battle. Have you heard of Grandpa Mao's article, on protracted war? What does it have to do with me whether you can last or not? Jin Kumo had a bad temper. At worst, I will just fight it out with them. So you didn't come here to pay a New Year greeting, but to send yourself to death. Li Fan started to laugh at her. I really feel sorry for Alliance Master Luo, sending such an unreliable person. She should have sent Night Rain Tower. Even if he is a cripple, he is still stronger than you. You! Jin Kumo flew into a rage. Just as she was about to explode, Li Fan glared at her. Alright, stop messing around. You are now in my dojo, and you will be under my control. Don't forget, I am Yi Jian's protector, a rank higher than you. It's fine if you want to die, but I don't want Alliance Master Luo to blame me. Humph. Now you are putting on airs again. Jin Kumo became obedient after being scolded by Li Fan. Then, when can I leave? what's the hurry, we are competing in patience now. Li Fan reminded Jin Kumo, this group of royal guards have also calculated your character, and they know that you will definitely not be able to hold back. Do you really want to go out like this, and let them have their way? I will listen to you, but I am a little nervous. Li Fan placed his hand lightly on Jin Kumo's arm, and a warm current flowed from his palm into Jin Kumo's body. For some reason, Jin Kumo felt much more at ease. The power of elemental energy was indeed somewhat magical. Don't panic. How about this, you stay here, and I will teach you martial arts. Ah. Jin Kumo was slightly shocked. From today onwards, you will learn martial arts from me. It won't be too late to go out and fight for Yi Jian when you become stronger. Li Fan's words were very tempting to Jin Kumo, as the saying goes, sharpening the knife will not delay the work of cutting firewood. Do you want to learn my elemental energy? Chapter 1169. After practicing the 9 truths technique, Li Fan's body produced a higher level of Yuan Qi. He could teach others the way to cultivate Yuan Qi. Currently, Li Fan had only taught it to 2 people. One was Lu Xiaohu, and the other was Jiang Yi. However, because none of them had experienced Li Fan's stage of breaking his cultivation, the vitality that they cultivated was not pure. In terms of level, they were much weaker than Li Fan, but their true qi was much higher. Li Fan felt that with their current comprehensive strength, even if they encountered an expert who had reached the pinnacle of perfection, they would still be able to win. Jin Kumo was already an expert at the peak of perfection. After some training, his strength should be even higher. But, didn't you forget about the 7 Heroes' Fist? Jin Kumo looked at Li Fan seriously. Can you still teach me the Xingyi Fist? Let's put the Xingyi Fist aside for now. I'll show you how strong my Yuan Qi is. Li Fan turned around and instructed Jiang Yi, let the 3 of them continue to practice their horses. You come down with me. Mao, you come down too. Li Fan brought the 2 girls directly to the basement. Mao, as one of the 4 heavenly kings of the Sword Reliance sect, your strength should be at the middle stage of perfection, right? Yes. Jin Kumo nodded. Li Fan's eyesight was quite good. Yes, I'll tell you about little Ye's strength first. Li Fan introduced his second disciple, Jiang Yi, 14 years old, early stage of the ascension. Compared to you, he's much weaker, right? That's for sure. Jin Kumo said without hesitation. Early stage of the ascension probably had the strength of 5 tigers. He was at the middle stage of perfection and had the strength of 5 dragons. How could 5 tigers and 5 dragons be compared? Not to mention early stage of the ascension, even if he was at the peak, he could still fight 3 or 4 of them. He was 5 times stronger than Jiang Yi. The difference in strength could not be made up by the difference in moves. What do you want? Jin Hisao looked at Li Fan. He had a feeling that the latter was plotting something. You and Jiang Yi have a match. Li Fan's answer surprised her. Fight with this little girl? Crazy. How could she possibly be his opponent? Are you crazy? Do you want me to vent on your disciple? Don't underestimate her. Li Fan smiled. You'll know once you fight. Alright, just take it as me helping you train your disciple. Jin Hisao tied up his long hair, which had been dyed green, and waved at Jiang Yi. Come, I'll let you make the first move. Please advise me. As soon as Jiang Yi finished speaking, he suddenly stuck close to the ground and instantly appeared in front of Jin Hisao. Initially, Jin Kumo wasn't bothered by Jiang Ye's attack. But when he saw Jiang Ye's attack, he was shocked and immediately executed a mantis fist, aiming for Jiang Ye's vitals. Jiang Yi, on the other hand, stretched out her right hand and wrapped it around Tsukuma's wrist, blocking her attack. It's useless, your true qi is too weak. Jin Kumo's arm exploded with true qi, trying to push Jiang Yi away. But when her true qi hit Jiang Ye's body, it was like a clay ox entering the sea, dissolving more than half of it. The remaining portion was enough for Jiang Yi to hold on. She locked Jin Kumo's arm, and then her palm, like a knife, instantly arrived in front of Jin Kumo's throat. Jin Kumo's protective aura was also torn apart by the sharpness of the knife. As long as Jiang Yi moved forward a little more, she would have been decapitated. Jin Kumo was in a daze, not daring to believe the truth. She was actually defeated by a little girl who had just reached the next level. You're too careless. Li Fan made Jiang Yi retreat. At the same time, you've underestimated Yuan Qi. Yuan Qi is of a higher level than true Qi, so she can still take advantage of your carelessness to kill you. But if she really fought with you, I'm afraid she might not be able to win. Killing a person and beating a person were two different concepts. Killing a person was much easier than beating a person. Lu Xiaohu was better at fighting, while Jiang Yi was more suited for assassination. His two disciples were clearly learning martial arts from him, but they seemed to have walked on different paths. I'm convinced. Jin Kumo admitted defeat for the first time. Li Fan, protectorly, from today onwards, I'll stay and learn martial arts from you. When I'm done, I'll go out and help Sword Reliance conquer the world. Yes, you should have done this long ago. Li Fan nodded. I won't casually teach this Yuan Qi skill to others. Then why are you willing to teach me? I've known Night Rain Tower for a while, so just take it as me taking care of you on his behalf. Jin Kumo's face turned red when he heard that. There's nothing between me and him. Yes, yes, yes. Then from tomorrow onwards, you'll train with those 3 disciples. Ah. I also have to train from the basics. Jin Kumo seemed a little unconvinced. Li Fan was underestimating him too much. Ah, that's not it. It's just that they've been learning how to cultivate qi these few days. I'm just letting you cultivate qi with them, but the qi you're cultivating is different. That's more like it. Only then did Jin Kumo feel a little happy. Li Fan couldn't help but wipe the sweat off his forehead. Women, at this time, Lu Xiaohu also came to the basement. Master, I knew you'd be in the basement too. Lu Xiaohu seemed a little unhappy. I went out today, but all the dojos were closed. Not a single one was open. I'm so angry. That's a good thing. Li Fan, however, was overjoyed. These guys can't hold back anymore. But I've specially practiced some new moves and wanted to use them to test it out. This Lu Xiaohu was completely treating him as a live target. Alright, get ready. I estimate that they'll come knocking in 2 days. Li Fan finished and instructed, from tomorrow onwards, don't go out to challenge dojos. Stay in the dojo and train your Yuan Qi with Protector Jin. Ah, learning Yuan Qi, great. Lu Xiaohu looked at Li Fan with some envy. Master, when can my Yuan Qi be as pure as yours? If you're willing to let Imperial Concubine Zhou suck your martial arts dry and start from the beginning, it should be possible. Then, forget it. By the way, did Imperial Concubine Zhou also practice Yuan Qi? Why do I feel that her aura is so similar to ours? Li Fan's old face blushed, and Jiang Yi secretly kicked Lu Xiaohu from behind. Let's go eat. Li Fan waved his sleeves and turned to leave. I'm hungry too. Jin Kumo followed behind. Idiot. Jiang Yi rolled her eyes at Lu Xiaohu and turned to chase after her master. What's going on? Lu Xiaohu didn't understand what was going on, so he asked curiously. Why was there such a big reaction? While they were eating dinner, under the urging of the president, the other dojos gathered together and ran to the entrance of the 7 Heroes dojo, preparing to sit in and demonstrate.